first segment, 12 minutes.
Yep.
And 5, 4, 3, 2.
What's going on, St. Louis? You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600. Hallelujah AM. Happy New Year, everybody.
Yes, sir.
Happy New Year. What are you going to do in 2022? What you going to do in 2022?
It's got a good rhyme to it.
That's the question that you need to be asking yourself. What's the plan? What is your plan? Yeah. I got one. I know Shahid got one. People that are trying to get something done have a plan.
That's right.
So here's the thing about it. Remember this. Proper preparation. Proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. That's it. That goes for you and that goes for me. That goes for all of us. Proper preparation prevents piss poor performance.
That's right.
That's the key.
That's it.
That's the key. Either you plan to fail or you fail to plan.
Right.
But just wandering aimlessly
Ain't gonna get it.
around ain't gonna do it.
Ain't gonna get it.
And not with COVID, not with the pandemic.
No.
I'm joined with my trusty ally, colleague, right-hand man,
Right on, man. Thank you.
Anthony Shahid.
Thank
What's
you,
up,
man.
my brother?
Oh, man, I feel black-tastic and black-inificent and black-erific, so please talk black to me, but don't talk back to me. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. And as always start with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I'm always thankful for Mary Bosley because he gave me an opportunity to be able to come on the program, to have a voice. So for that, I'm thankful. And tag a friend. Wait, come on, Mary.
Come on now, man. Quit playing.
You talking about
Tag a friend and bring him in.
Tag a friend and bring him in.
That's right. Tag a friend and bring him in.
Yes, sir. That's how we get down.
Get on in here, friend. Get on in here.
Call somebody and tell them we on
Yeah.
now. And we got some hot topics today. Real hot topics this morning. So with St. Louis, just sit back. This is the new year. We got some things that we can do. One of the things, man, if I can start saying now, anybody, any business that want us to help push you, just like today, I'm walking around with a Woolly Stephanie Auto Bodies mask on. So if you give us your mask, if you from Rodney Scale Service Station, if you from Rise and Shine, Shoe Shine, if you from Sister Breeze across the street from him, if you're from Aries Restaurant, wherever you want us to push you, if you give us your mask, and just let your customers know to listen to 1600 Hallelujah.
That's
Freeman
right.
Bosley Jr. Show. You got that. That's something we starting this year, man.
And where would we be? Where would we be without our main man? Bombay Boeski
In the house. Good
He's
morning,
back
my
there
brother.
on the ones and twos. He's a guy. He's a guy. He's the straw that stirs this shake because he puts it all together for us. So we thank you, Mr. Boeski, for that. We know we're a headache for you sometime, but that's just what we do. You know, it's the nature of me and Mr. Shahid. But you know, you hanging in there with us. You're dealing with us. He putting all these technical things that Mr. Shahid and I don't know that much about, but we don't know nothing about it. Well, I'm just trying to be nice. You're a young guy. You help us pull all this stuff together, and I'm trying to tell you, man, we got one of the best studios.
Oh, we got it.
Ain't nobody got too much better equipment than we got.
No.
We got it. We got cameras, we got lights, we got green screen, we got mixers, we got, what is it, an ATM, what is it called, an ATM, Boeski?
Adam Mini Pro.
Yeah.
Adam Mini Pro.
Oh, man, we got it.
Yes, sir, we got it.
We got it, and we right here, and we bringing it to you. We still working and trying to figure out how we going to be able to get that phone. We got the phone. How we'll be able to get the phone working so that you can call in.
Yes.
That's our last step.
Yes.
That's our last step. Like DMX would say, one more road to cross and one more move to make.
That's right.
Huh?
That's right.
We got one more road to cross and one more move to make, and we got the right man, Boeski, going to figure it out. He going to figure it out, and we going to be able to talk. But let's move along.
I want to just jump and say one thing because you said something that was real important. Plan your work this year and work your plan. A person who don't plan nothing, you're going to fail. You know, so you got to take your time, as Mary Bosley said. Put you a 30-day program in place. Put you a 3-month thing in place.
People, just a week's program.
Hey man, don't do that.
So, yeah. Just
Man,
figure out what you're gonna do for the week, man. Just start keep it simple. You fool around, you over the head already, Shahid. You know, figure out what you're gonna do for the week, and then a 2-week plan. And then if you get a 2-week plan, you got a 3-week plan.
Okay.
Yeah, week to week to week, cause you weak.
I see you in your mood this morning.
Oh man, you know I wake up with it. Every morning I wake up, I'm going to the free throw line.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Every morning I wake up, I report to the free throw line because I'm taking some shots.
Yeah,
I'm taking some shots.
Brothers and sisters, we just keep it real around here because the bottom line is, all of us have a role to play. You know, in one part of the scriptures in the Quran, also the Bible talks about Joseph or Yusuf, but they told him to go in by different gates. Everybody got something they can do. Everybody is talented around here. You can do something that we can't do. We can do something that you can't do. But the bottom line, we have to come together now because Donald Trump has 80 million people that's bagging him and everything that he's doing with the Republicans. They're not playing with us.
Even with all that has happened.
Yeah.
Even with all that he has done.
Yes, sir.
Even with the attempted overthrow of the United States Capitol, through it all, there's a hard knot, like Shahid has said, of 90 million of these characters. Yeah. That's no joke. No, it's more of them than it is black people.
That's the point.
In the whole country. 90. It's a hard knot. No matter what he does, they with him. I wish we could be like that, but half us can't get together to go across the street.
Man, you're in that mood this morning. I can see that.
No.
You're in the mood this morning. I see you're going to go that way.
Yes.
And the senator's not here.
Oh, God.
Senator Karla May, we give you a shout out. I need you.
Well, we're going to need it. Karla May, stay out the way right now. Yes, sir. Karla May, stay out the way because we're going to bring it. And we don't necessarily want our lovely sister to be smeared or be part of it because the people who might be talked about going to say, why would you let Freeman Bosley Jr. and Anthony Shahid say those things about us? Why would you let, and now he has the benefits. I wasn't even there.
Right. Yeah,
that's right.
Beautiful.
That's how that goes.
Well, you know the old saying, Mary, it's when two elephants are fighting, the ground is disturbed, is tore up. So that means when two leaders are fighting. So that's why we have to come together as leaders in this community to maybe get some direction and aim and purpose for young brothers and sisters. And that's why it's so important. If we ain't together at night, they got 80 to 90 million of them that's together on one accord.
A hard knot. I call them a hard knot. K-N-O-T. A hard knot.
Yeah. So that's why we so hard on y'all that's selling out.
Yeah.
You know, so when we catch you, you know, and I got to throw a name out, man. Come on,
go
a Daryl Piggy.
Oh, Jesus.
You know, when you catch a Daryl Piggy buck dancing and buck jumping and butt kissing and butt sniffing and butt buddies, you know, and just going all the way. You know, we got to address it and you got to say something about it because it's right now we need everybody on the team and they jumping on their team. We
don't necessarily need him, but we do need some unity in the community because now he has exposed himself. You see, so we are going forward though.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we are going forward, and we not be sidetracked by these people these characters.
These coons.
Yeah, well, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
What's that song? Was it
Look at the cones? Man, we keep talking about we got to have that next week. We got
to be able to, Boeski, you got to work on being able to play songs for us, too, because there's certain songs that we like to hear, you know, particularly Break Every Chain, you know, our theme songs, you know, by Alita Adams, I'm Thankful. You know, we need to be able to play those things. And we got this song called Look at the Coons that'll be, Shahid has it, and he wants to ding people from time to time. So
that way, when we show their pictures and the music be in the background, saying "Look at the coons," you know, well, Wesley Bell might appear. You know, different ones, you know, they appear and then reappear.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, this
sir. And we take full. Brother Anthony Shahid is taking full responsibility. Right. I'm not speaking for Hallelujah 1600. I'm not speaking for Mary, but I'm not speaking for I'm speaking for Anthony Shahid and the Tahid.
You're a big guy. You're a big boy. You can handle it.
Yes, sir.
You're a big boy. But you know what? Here's something, and I don't care how you feel and what you got going on, but this is something you can't deny, and some of you still are fooling around with this thing, and it causes me grave concern because people are dying left and right, and you don't realize it. You don't realize it. And here's one of the things that I wanted to relate to you: the St. Louis Health Commissioner. The St. Louis Health Commissioner for the city of St. Louis reports the highest positivity rate since the pandemic started.
Highest.
We're on 2022. He's citing the highest rate since 2020. The commissioner of the St. Louis Department of Health has a dire warning for you and for me. It's a dire warning. When somebody says something is dire, that means it's very serious. About the new COVID surge, Dr. Frederick Eccles told Fox News that the numbers are higher, or the highest, that he's seen since the pandemic began. He says the positivity rate in the city, oh God, is possibly as high as 40% or more. That's a lot. 40% or more. So that means if you got 10 people around you, 4 of them
for sure
got COVID. Yeah. What do you think about that? Man, I know you say, Boz, you don't know what you're talking about. But this is nothing. I didn't make it up. I didn't make this up. I didn't come up with these numbers. These are numbers from the city's health department, and they are alarming. And what it is they're ringing the bell. They're ringing the bell. So the bell has rung for the break right now, though.
Yes, sir.
It's time for us to go to a break.
Yes, sir.
You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KATZ 1600. Hallelujah, AM. Keep it on lock. Quick. Hey! Yeah.
That's how we get down.
Yeah.
So, brothers and sisters, y'all know what we do. This is our time that we breaking now to get ready to go into another segment. We thank you. It's time for you to make calls. It's time for you to let other people know that we're on now and that we're putting things in place for our radio program. But it's going to be hot because we got a lot of hot issues that's going on. I'm going to talk about a brother that's been a political prisoner for years, Reggie Clemens. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Spires and how they're doing all kind of things. And I got a guy's name, but I'm not going to give it out this week. Well, I'm just going to tease you. I might not do it next week. But, I like to give out names.
Yeah.
I like to give out names and telephone numbers. I like to give them out both. That way, I like to call them on the air and let people understand, hey, man, we're on the radio talking about you right now. It's Brother Shahid. I take full responsibility for what's happening. I hear what y'all doing this spot. But we put information out. Why?
Right.
This information is vital to our community because the mere fact that they can come into our community and do the things that they do and come in and just destroy a community, destroy trees. See, trees give oxygen, and trees is beautification. Trees are very important. And when you come into our community and you just start making statements like that, that's because you're in St. Charles and you're coming from Fenton. And you're coming from Cape Girardeau, and you're coming from all those places, and then you can come into the black community and feel though that you can just do anything and don't even have to backhoe streets right and all that stuff. See, we got problems, and we got to address it. So I'm going to be reaching out to Brother Yahya Muhammad, who's over the utility companies, and have him to set up a meeting because the things that they're doing. One of my closest mothers, she's not read at 90 years old, Miss Hazel. It's a whole block of them talking about what's happening. Miss Hazel would love to be able to call in. I wouldn't bring out in the cold, by being winter time and early in the morning. But what I will be doing is making sure that Miss Hazel's voice is heard. And it's about 5 or 6 brothers that's working at Spires that are saying these things are happening and how they're happening and why they're happening. And what we have to do is expose them. We have to find out, get the numbers of how many black contractors there are that's working. I'm not talking about workers, how many black contractors. Are they looking at their 25 and 5 or something that you remember?
You know what? Yeah, contractors. But I'm even ready to go deal with them on their workers. I bet you they short, way off the mark. I bet you they way off the mark. and I haven't even had the benefit of any numbers, but these companies, they don't rise to the occasion. They don't, you know.
And if somebody ain't putting no heat on it, because I could tell you
Thank
something
you.
else too.
Nobody
The
put no
NGA, the NGA. We talked about that, Mary. You talked about that about 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
How right now they are 33% through with the job. The job to complete it, you be 100%. They 33%, and they got no more than 12 or 13%. So they half of what they supposed to have, and they're going on full steam ahead.
And spent millions of dollars. And see, that's the problem. See, these people, while we talking, we sitting here every day, these people are spending millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. And why is that important? Because it's important because we're not getting any of it. And what's going to happen is this project is going to be complete. And we're going to look around and people like you or the listening audience, well, did they hire any black? You're going to ask later.
Right.
You're going to ask about it later when it's over. It's too late then.
After the fact.
You need to be asking now. Right now, you need to be asking. You need to be asking your elected officials, put that pressure on that butt.
Right.
Yeah, see, because they not asking either.
No.
It's not just you. Your elected officials not asking.
Wait a minute, hold on. I heard a voice. Where's that? I just heard a voice.
From afar. From afar.
They gonna get a check.
That's right.
Wow.
Thank you.
So what he's saying, brothers and sisters,
That's
is
right.
that every 2 weeks, the elected official, they get paid. So they're
That's
not worried about what's happening because they getting their money. The only
That's
way they
right.
would be different is if they wouldn't get their money.
That's right. 26 pay periods in a year.
Wow.
So they collected 26 checks. It's 26 pay periods in a year for the city of St. Louis. Yeah.
And
They're gonna get those checks. They're gonna get those checks whether they do anything for us or not.
Ain't
And
that
you know
something?
why? Because you let them.
Yeah. Well, I remember, Matt, too, back during the time Bob McCullen and what's this other guy, Jerry Lee and Ron Battelle was out in St. Louis County. One of the things I remember is the FBI themselves had less than 3% blacks working with them. Now, this was about 15 years ago. I'm willing to bet you they're not doing too much more.
Well, why would they let black people in the FBI when that's who they trying to investigate? They ain't gonna let.
You're right.
Because some of the black people that they let in, they might say, well, wait a minute, you know, why you treating him differently than
Right.
this guy over here?
Right.
Why are we going after him? So the less interference, the less black people that they have, the fewer black people that they have, the fewer the less interference that they have.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to be interfered with while they go after our people.
We got to make sure we talk about this when we come back on the air.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
I had read it on NBC Montana. It said data from several states and the federal government suggests deaths among Americans fully vaccinated against COVID-19 rose sharply amid the nation's most recent surge of infections. But experts say that this is not unexpected as more of the population gets immune, get vaccinated.
Okay.
So basically, just like when you get the flu shot, you get the flu.
Yes.
So like when you get vaccinated,
You get a little COVID. You don't get the major COVID, but you get a little bit.
but it says that they had already expected for it to be a rise in deaths. So for the news to be out here like we got a rise in deaths and they causing an alarm, but it was already expected because if people, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Well, let's talk about.
propaganda.
Can we
Because
talk about it
it's
when we
like
come
at
back on the
some
air?
point,
Let's talk
they
about it.
causing an issue amongst us.
There they are.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
They're creating a wedge.
we don't need no information to cause the issue among us. We don't want to be confused with facts now. We gonna cause some issues among ourselves. But the key to understand here, Bo, is however you want to spin that.
Let's come back on, man.
Okay,
We're
all right,
back
come
on
on.
here.
You ready to come back on? All right, you ready?
That way we can get whatever it is. I want the people to hear it too.
Yeah,
Okay.
Brothers and sisters, we're going to do it.
2
yeah. Let's do it.
minutes. Ready to record in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back, St. Louis. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600 AM. Join me with Brother Anthony Shahid.
Thank you, man.
My right-hand man, the main man, the agitator, the one that keeps all the stuff going. He's in the right. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
He's in the right. He calling it the way he sees it. And a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people, and the thing about it, there's nothing they can do about it.
Yeah, that's right. And
If
they got problems, what they should do is go to John 8:32, where the book say, "Know ye the truth."
What did it say?
The book say, "Know ye the truth."
Know ye the truth.
And the truth will set you free. We're trying to do a little freedom march around here. Give them a little facts.
Well,
see, we pounding the facts right now because we got the facts on our side, so we're pounding the facts. We're giving them facts, man. And the bottom line is, with things that are happening off the air, brothers and sisters, we was talking about 2 or 3 things, but we want to come back to the COVID piece, and then I want to make sure that we get back on this NGA piece because that's a very powerful piece. Them inspires. What I don't want to do is not finish up what we were talking about before we went off the air, but I want to make sure since we back on, that we definitely hit what's happening with Spires. A lot of other companies, but right now I'm on Spires. I'm real focused in on them.
Because they're on Spire because they digging up your yard, digging up your neighborhood, and they tearing up stuff in your damn house.
With no regard, because what they saying, my brother, we got to speak right into that mic. We got anonymous.
My house better.
We got an anonymous person helping us today.
That's some of the sayings you might hear look good from my house. From there, saying, "Hey, I'm out here, so it look good. I don't get a chance to see it." So.
In other words, what he's saying, if you from Festus,
say look good from my house. So that means when he come out the house, he ain't looking over here.
Right, because he's in Arnold, Missouri. He coming from Arnold, Missouri. He coming from Festus.
Yeah.
He coming from Cape Arnold, Missouri. He coming from Festus.
Yeah.
He coming from Cape Girardeau.
Treat everybody saying you make it original or better. That's what you want, and you treat your customers nice.
And here's the other
Ain't
piece.
No delay.
And while they moving around in your damn neighborhood, they pulling this damn heavy duty equipment out on the street, and you have to worry about getting in behind it with your car. And half the time they don't have the blinking lights on, so you don't know what the hell they doing. And the machine, the equipment is moving slow, and like it's supposed to. I mean, you driving 10, 15 miles an hour, and they moving at 5 miles an hour. We trying to get to work, trying to get the kids to daycare or wherever it is that we trying to take them. But here's the other piece. Now that they can fool around and constructed these damn barriers in the middle of the street, you can't even go around.
No, you can't.
You can't go around.
But I'm gonna tell
you at the mercy. You're at their mercy.
Well, because I'm gonna tell you what I'm hearing, man, and this is what I'm hearing. I could be corrected if I'm wrong. Them little young brothers ain't taking it like that. When they start doing that there, they done start taking things into their own hands. Because they feel as though they should be on one side, which they can't hardly do it, depending on what area they're in.
Right.
But if they on a area where they can just be in one lane and just creep 5 miles or 7 miles and do what you need to do. But when people got to go to work or whatever they got to do, and you coming into the black community and you doing what you want to do with the heavy equipment, you getting paid.
Yeah.
So it's okay for you to take your time being all day, but these people here, they're not getting paid, and they're doing what they do each and every day, and you're holding them up.
No, what they're going to do is...
Speak right into that mic.
What they're going to do
Speak into that mic.
Send, I got it, Brother Anthony Shahid. What they're going to do is they're going to send that one person out here to this other location where he can be coveted, you dig? He's scared of getting shot at or whatever or having a problem. So, and then they're going to keep all the blacks right here and have them right there working. That's how that works.
Is that right? That's deep.
That's deep. That's what it is.
So
That's what it is. The same old. Don't get me wrong. The upper echelon, they try to do what they can do, but they're not hip to the good old boy the way it go up under that. They blind to that. If they turn their eye, they don't know. So you got to look at it both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So, brothers and sisters, this is something that we talked about last week. And one thing that we do on this radio station, until we get some results, we dig down. We keep on digging. Every week we dig more and more and more and more. So I'm reaching out to Brother John Muhammad, who's the chairman of the utility.
And alderman of the 21st Ward.
And the alderman of the 21st Ward. to ask him to call a meeting with these people, because I want to know some statistics. I want to know some numbers. I'm like you, Mary, but I want to know how many black people they working, how many women, how many Asians, how many Hispanics, how many whatever they got.
I wouldn't meet with him just yet. I would have, if we can get him to do it, he needs to send a letter.
Okay.
To Spire, asking on behalf of the Board of Aldermen and the people of the city of St. Louis, how many employees do you have?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Simple. Out of that number, how many of your employees are black? All right. How many are women? How many are Asian?
Yes, sir.
How many are Hispanic? How many of your employees are in that are minorities or in management level positions?
Yeah.
And then you got to the point where you got, like you say, asking those questions are valid, because then you fall in the category to where you got guys that been there since they 21, probably one black male out of all that, and then he's there and he knows this job from 21, he's competent, but yet you bring your brother, cousin, or whoever in and put him in a position. They play chess games like
and he had to train them.
Yeah, that's what the brother is pissed on or pissed off, you say? Yeah. That's what the brother, that's how it goes.
And then, here's the other piece to that.
You know how it goes.
I know I've seen how it goes. Not only know how it goes, I've seen how
nepotism.
It goes. And here's the other thing. When those people come in and they get promoted over him, past him, and he got his mouth stuck out, and finally he'll get up enough nerve to say something. Well, how come I didn't get that position?
Oh, wait.
And they look flat at him and say, we didn't even think you'd be interested.
Damn.
Yes.
Oh, wait.
We didn't even know you would be interested. I've seen that happen. Yeah, I have seen that happen.
Or the brothers, like say, some of these brothers, they talk, they may say something to guys like whoever, me, whatever, and they kind of scared or whatever. You got to start standing up like these women, like these foreigners, everybody else. We have to start standing up as black men, as men, period, and let's do it.
Well, we
ask the questions. That's what I see. The thing about it, if you drill down when you start making inquiries. When you start saying, well, how many people work here all together? All right. Yes, then you say, well, out of that, how many people are black? Yes, and then you say, how many people are Asian? How many people are Hispanic?
How many women?
How many people are women? Then once you get to that point, you say, well, all right, how many black people are in management?
Yes.
How many Hispanics are in management? Yes. How many women are in management? How many Asians are in management? You see, and that way, they in many instances, and we know this for a fact, the overwhelming majority of the minorities will be at the lower level of the employment spectrum. Right. Now, they might have somebody black that they done appointed up higher.
So they can play like they got
so they can say, here, look, they say, but in terms of the overall structure of the organization, there'll be no minorities to be found. That's you see what I'm saying? And this Negro who gets that opportunity will not say a word. I'm telling you, he will not say a word, or he'll what do you say, mealy mouth.
Yeah.
He'll be mealy mouthed about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's how that goes. But that's why the people have to ask the questions.
Yes, sir.
Spire, Ameren UE, these organizations are utilities. MSD, they're utilities, and they have monopolies.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And no place else you can go to get electricity. There's no place else you can go to get gas.
That's
now, you can got a little probably makeshift companies or whatever, but in terms of just legitimate, straightforward, mainstream organizations, there's no place else you can go. So we pay these people every time we pay our bills. So we make these companies run.
Yes, sir.
There ain't no money people coming from out of over in Illinois. They got an Ameren or they got a Spire over in Illinois, but in Missouri, we are the ones that are paying.
So what about community choice aggregation? And that's basically where you enable local governments to enroll their municipalities under a single energy supplier. So like instead of us going with the major like Ameren or Spire, we can
they hear?
elect our own smaller electric companies or gas companies.
The thing about that is you got so much infrastructure in there that's already there. Then you have to have that company and whoever municipalities buy that. And St. Louis is just so. Bosley might can tell that a little bit more, but you got.
Well, no, you got it. You own it. Break it down. Break it on down.
Be able to come in like that. Then you got the buying of different.
And by infrastructure, tell them what you mean.
That's the stuff
Speak right into that, bro. I need you to speak into
that. Yeah, it's making everything go in the city, county, wherever. Just like St. Louis City Water. You know, I don't know, a lot of people don't like Tashara. I'm like this with anything. I want to include everybody, but, you know, I'm not included in everything. But what I will give to her, I know this personally. Damn, she's did some things with some of the utility companies. She gave them guys a raise that was much needed, you know, to the point where they may get up to the raise with some of the other utility companies like MSD or stuff like that. So you got problems like that where City Water is been one of the best water companies in the world. I mean, yeah, in the country. Man.
Well, if it's in the country, it's in the world, because the world water ain't worth a damn. Yeah. The water in the world ain't worth a damn. The best water in the world is St. Louis got the best water, one of the best water companies, probably top 5 in the country. Right. All right. So if we're in the top 5 in the country, it's the top 5 in the world. And all you gotta do is listen to people that ain't from that were here and move someplace else.
That's where you figure it out.
Like folks that went to Atlanta, all these other places in California, they now have something to compare St. Louis water to.
Yes, sir.
See, and it's a big difference. It's a big difference. But getting back to what you were saying, and Boeski, the reason why the concept that you just talked about is a novel one. But what he was pointing out was where are they going to get the money for the infrastructure? And what he's talking about is like if it's MSD, the sewer lines is already in the ground. They're going to have to put their own in there. The electric lines that's already stretched out all across the city and under the ground. They'd have to come in and put in their own. The gas lines, they'd have to come in.
Right?
Huh?
That's what Spire's doing. Because the Leclerc was already here.
Who was?
Leclerc was here.
Spire bought Leclerc.
One and the same.
That's what Spire's doing now, right? They're updating all of the lines.
Absolutely.
Let the young man, he's trying to jump.
Updating the whole infrastructure.
Yes, they are. And so now what about the community organization that you're talking about?
I mean, right now we don't have no other community because
it's one and the same.
We haven't come together as a collaborative to say, okay, we're not going to use Spire. We're not going to, you know what I'm saying? I do understand.
Yeah, okay.
I think the young man's trying to jump in on
I'd like to see us get together to walk across the street.
Speaking to that mic, speaking to that mic, young man.
Spire and Leclerc is one of the same thing. It would, it was just like a transfer of or whatever. That's what it is.
He understand that. Yeah.
So, brothers and sisters, while we stand on these topics here, because they're very important, young lady, Miss Hazel, I shouldn't say, well, she is a young lady. She's 87, right at 90 years old. And she called me about Spires. And I also had maybe about 5 or 6 brothers from Spires that came to me, and some of the things that are happening around there is real. So that's why, as my brother said, we're going to reach out to the alderman, who's the chairman of that particular committee, and have him to put in writing certain questions.
Yes.
This way they can't skate around it, because
that's right.
One thing about water, when it's on the top of a roof, if it's a hole, they're going to get through it. And these people remind me of some mice or rats. If a mice can get his nose through a crack, he gone.
Yeah.
So what we don't want to do is give them a chance to get away.
Right.
And we won't even cover the ones that are coming in here, because some of the brothers that stand around, that's why I keep saying, brothers, we don't expect y'all to talk like my brother and myself. But what we don't expect you to do is see them white boys come into our community, come into a black community where older women are, or come on a private street like what you told me last week, Mary Bosley, with your trees. And somebody can just come in there and just knock your trees over and then start telling people, hey, where your receipts at? Where this at? This that?
How much did you pay for it?
All this stuff.
Prove it. No, we want you to prove it. Prove that you had some tree. Show me a receipt. Well, that was a year ago.
They don't do everybody else like that.
They don't do nobody else like that. They don't do nobody else like that but black people. You know what I'm saying?
So that's why we own Spires and NGA.
Look good from my house.
Yeah, it
What
look good
kind
for
of-
my
what
house,
is
bro.
That's what it means. It don't have anything to do with them because they don't see it until they come down here to work and make that long money and drive back.
Yeah.
So
You wouldn't put debris on your sidewalk. You wouldn't put debris. You out in Clayton, by the Justice Center. You ain't gonna
Yeah.
put no debris on their
You
sidewalk.
damn right. And you got the big ass metal plates and stuff all out in the street, and people running over those and they dipping down and all that kind of stuff. You know this.
Cover it up.
Yeah. Huh?
Make sure they secure and covered up.
Well-
Don't just slide them over there for something to happen. Don't just slide them over there for something to happen. They
Right.
need to be covered up.
Yeah.
Spiked
Secure.
down, secure.
So I'm so thankful that we got this information out. Last thing I want to do, just for a minute, Mary, I got to hit the NGA because we're talking about $1.5 billion that they're spending on that. They've already spent.
I think it's about 1.8.
Was it $1.8 billion?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the mere fact they didn't spend, well, we saying millions
Almost
of dollars.
$2 billion.
Yeah, we got to stop saying millions. They didn't spend hundreds of millions of dollars so far. Because from my understanding, it was $500 million so far that they didn't spent at this point. So the mere fact they didn't spend that kind of money, and you got 10 to 12% black people working, and you don't just stop. You don't say, well, hold up, we got to make sure this is right. Well, we know your history, FBI. You know, you're the same people that killed Dr. King.
Mm-hmm.
We 100% know that. It ain't no James Earl. We know for a fact now you killed Honorable Marcus Garvey. We know for a fact who you killed. We know you killed Fred Hampton. So you're the same people. We know you killed Malcolm now. We don't feel out everything that you done did. Now you come into our community and you killing our community by coming in there and getting this type of money where Pruitt Igoe was.
Mm-hmm.
You have the audacity to come in there where you know our history. Come in there, and then not only that, you take everything around the areas now. That means black businesses that was there, we lose all the way around. The main thing we got to have is black people working, being able to take the, because you got to remember, you can just about take 2 years or 3 years of that work down there and just about become a German, if you start off as an apprentice. And if you ain't a German, you're going to be so close to it.
That's right.
So we got to talk about, somebody has to talk about this, and nobody can talk about it better than 1600 Hallelujah from the Bobby Jr. Show.
And the other thing about the NGA project is not only do they have control over the NGA project, the surrounding area, they have control over what goes into those areas. Say, for instance, people they have control over what kind of business come in here.
That's
you know what I'm saying? When this is America, you're supposed to be able to put a business wherever you want to put it. You know, the spy agency, yes, that's fine, but it should not necessarily have any control over what goes in the surrounding areas.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And at the same time, they are dumbing down the businesses that are already there. It's very few, probably not 10, 15 businesses in that area right now, but they're strangling them to death.
Oh, ain't no secret.
Strangling them to
And
death.
again, I'm looking, man. Let's see how I'm doing this. Elected officials, where y'all at?
Well,
What?
yeah.
Don't do that, Brother Boeski. Don't do that, please.
I
don't do
taught
that.
him something. See, he
not.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
What do you mean they getting checks?
Yeah.
That's what they doing.
They get
Everything
so you
is
saying
getting
every 2 weeks we
contracted
go.
out.
2 weeks, they getting the check.
Yep.
Elected officials take this serious. We want other people to get checks. We're not knocking you. We're not raining on your
Keep
parade.
your money. Yeah.
We're not raining on your parade.
Keep your money, but let some other people get some.
You know, that's what we want y'all to do. Don't forget that people out here are suffering. They are hurting out here, and I promise you, some of those carpentry jobs, some of the electrical jobs, some of those painting jobs.
Yeah, what was that character's name? He was a headache. And unfortunately, he's dead now, but he wasn't worth nothing, man, in terms of the carpenters. Terry Nelson? Oh, man.
Now,
God, that guy.
I remember him when you was the mayor of the city of
terrible.
St.
Yeah, he was terrible. He fought the opportunities for black people left and right.
Ain't no secret.
We couldn't get hardly anybody in that carpenters union. He'd always be talking about, well, they can't pass 5th grade math. You know, they always showing up dirty. They have marijuana in their system, and so everybody got damn marijuana in their system. Just about everybody.
Well, they got other stuff in their system.
Well, whatever they got, everybody got something for the most part in
sir.
their system. But why you gonna single out the black people
they didn't want
as the main characters or the main perpetrators of that wrong. You know, it's everybody. So what does that mean? You just get more.
Yeah. Man,
you just get more black people, more folks to apply.
Mayor, I knew we had a problem when you, as the mayor of the city of St. Louis, was talking to them, and they wouldn't budge. Him and there's another guy named Dick Mantell.
Well, yeah, but Mantell wasn't as nearly as bad.
I agree, but I'm talking about they all, you know, he's second in command. I mean, they right up there in the top three and top 5. The guy
that was with the Association of General Contractors,
yes.
He was decent. Okay, but for the most part, the main perpetrator
ain't no secret now.
was the carpenters, because the carpenters had the most employees.
Yeah.
They had the most employees.
Well, guess what? That's why the FBI is, and I stand to be corrected, that's why they set up shop at right now as we speak. The FBI is set up at the carpenters because they working together. Go over there toward the carpenters and see. Carpenters don't want no blacks, and hell, the damn FBI don't want no blacks.
Well,
because they should be making the issue and say, hold, y'all can't keep on doing this job around here. Where are the black folks at? I thought we had a certain amount in the city of St. Louis. I thought Mayor Bosley and Vervis Jones came together and put a thing called 25 and 5.
We did.
You know, that's what I thought y'all did. So what happened to it? Is it gone now? You don't have to do it.
It's not gone. It's still there. But the question is one of enforcement. Who is enforcing it? See, Vervis and we stood on that.
Ain't no secret.
It wasn't nothing happening if it wasn't 25 and 5. Before we got in office, they had over at St. Louis Development, they had a department that would issue, say for instance, if you got an RFP out for a project, that's $5 million. That's simple. $5 million, and people bidding in on it, okay? Got 3-4 companies bidding in on it, and the city starts looking at it, and they want to decide we're going to take this one, but then they ask for the minority participation. All right, and the people say well, we looked around and we couldn't find anybody black. But see, it's supposed to stop right there. It's supposed to stop right there. But the person within the city government itself, and this was a black person, they had what you call waivers, okay? Meaning we're going to waive that minority participation requirement on a good faith effort.
And how was that a good faith?
And you know, the good faith was that they wrote the damn letter to say we couldn't find nobody. Not that they went out and sought, not that they demonstrated what it is. You know, like if you tell me, well, I couldn't find anybody, I'm gonna say, well, my next question, well, where did you look?
Right.
What did you do to try to find somebody? Did you run ads in the paper? Did you go out and recruit? Did you have people go around to the schools? Did they go around to the neighborhoods? Did they go around and try to see? Hell no, they didn't. But there's a black person.
That's what they say. Cool. We had a
There was a black person at St. Louis Development
Oreo
that issued these what they call waivers. We're going to waive that requirement. Yep. And you know what we did? First, when I got in office in April. By May, he was gone.
Beautiful. Man, I think we got to go to a break. I don't want to.
You going to break on that?
I don't want to break on.
Okay, that's all right. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. Yeah, let's go on and take a break. Maybe we need one.
Come on.
You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600 AM. Hallelujah.
Come on with it.
Keep it on lock. Quick. Bam. Ho.
That's how we get down, y'all.
Yeah.
So that's the problem that they got with us.
Yeah.
We don't do nothing.
Huh?
What ward is NGA in?
It's on 2 and 3.
3 and 5. It's so big, it's in 2 wards. It's in the 3rd and the 5th.
Yeah. Down off Salisbury.
Huh?
5 is James Page.
And 3rd ward is my brother.
All right. And then what district is that?
The district.
You mean ward?
State district is it?
State rep might be my sister. Yeah. Might be.
So brothers and sisters. I'm
How
sorry.
do
Go
the
ahead.
senators go? Do they go?
That's not Karla May. Who's the other senator? Who took Jamila Nasheed? Is it
She ain't out yet.
Is that
Roberts? It's Steve Roberts.
So, brothers and sisters, while we on this now, and thank you all for continuing to listen. You know, we're getting ready to get back to our next segment, but we're still live here, and we want to make sure you understand why we keep going over this stuff. Because if we don't bring it out, it's not coming out. And if we don't start putting heat on these politicians,
Yep.
at least you know then you should be thinking about how you want to start voting for people that's not trying to even help you get a paycheck like they're getting a paycheck. We're not upset about them getting a paycheck. Seriously. That's not what we're talking about.
Yeah.
We're upset that they're getting money and they don't understand what you're going through. We want them to feel what the people are feeling, because that's what you said. You got elected because you wanted to make a change. You wanted to make sure people could pay their house notes. You wanted to make sure people could get food. Their alleys could be paid. I mean, you ran on certain campaign promises. And all we're asking you to do is deliver.
That's right.
And maybe you don't know it's happening. So what we're doing here, we're putting it out loud. I want
So
y'all
you
to
can
call.
ask the question.
That's all we're doing. You know, and y'all have a right to call City Hall, 622-3201.
Yeah.
622-3201 and say, hey, they talking about certain things on the radio. Is it true? Maybe they got 100% blacks down at the NGA.
Well, let's see some information.
Right, come on back and prove us different.
It's funny, when you ride past there, I was wondering when somebody was going to get on it. I had to get y'all the champion on that, because you don't see any contract. You at least could see a dump truck driver. You see these brothers, they got dump trucks and stuff. You don't even see them hauling anything down there. You see them. You see the white brothers. My white brothers, like white brothers, my Indian brothers. You see the white brothers leading the sisters that they got only laborers. The sisters only labor. You see them leading them around, pointing at stuff. Pick this up. You don't see no professional construction workers doing none of that. No operators on the crane. They could get somebody from out of town. Maybe, I don't know. Bosley would know maybe better.
Well,
but you can get other contractors that can do this work. You can get operators from the union 513. I mean, it's crazy. You got the water, man. It's come on, man.
But see, that's another issue that we had to grapple with when I was in office. When I was in office, we had one of the biggest building booms in the history of the city, like they going through right now. They got all of this money and everything right now. But what they were doing was, we were steady pushing black people in trying to get them into the unions, and what the unions was doing, they was hiring people from Oregon, Ohio, Wyoming, Montana, and they had a word for it. They called them travelers.
Wow.
They called them travelers. They brought in travelers, and we said, well, why are you? And listen to this rationale.
Come on.
Why are you hiring all these people from out of town?
Out of state.
Because when the work is over, they go back, and they won't be here unemployed. Well, I think that the black people that are here would rather work and wonder about being unemployed later.
Right.
You hear what I'm saying? Give me the damn job now. Let me worry about being unemployed later. Don't think for me like that. Don't think about my economic opportunity. Particularly if you're gonna think about it like that. Let me figure that out. Let me figure out what I'm gonna do 2 years from now after I'd have made $70,000 or $80,000 a year. Let me work on that. Let me work on that later.
I can figure it out. That's
experience too, Bob.
Absolutely, for the next job. For the next damn job.
Keep you down like that. You don't have experience.
Let me put a twist on this, brothers and sisters, because Mary ain't gonna say this, but I gotta say this here. That's the reason he's not the mayor of the city of St. Louis.
I can believe
Mayor
that.
Bosley, no, it ain't no believe it. I'm talking facts. I don't just talk off the top of my head. The same way he talking now,
That's right.
that's what he wanted then. Them white folks weren't expecting it. First of all, they weren't expecting him to get in there. But because Rivaldo and Villa was running, and he was blessed to get through there, if he would have did what they've been called, let me use it, Clarence Harmon.
Oh.
This is me. I'm speaking for Anthony Shahid, because I said the hell I want to say.
Please speak for Anthony Shahid.
Yeah, I speak for Anthony Shahid. Yeah. What they had to do is they said, wait a minute, hold up. What is he talking about? Terry Nelson, he has the audacity to stand up because he know you white, and you with the unions, and y'all powerful. So after a while, they started saying he don't know how to play ball. We done offered him what they call all handkerchief head, boot licking, butt dancing, butt jumping, butt kissing. Negroes always wanted to be in the Vela Prophet parade, to lead the parade.
Oh no!
He already done turned us down. Have he lost his damn mind?
Freeman Bosley.
Let me roll for a minute, because he ain't gonna get it off. But That's why I say I'm thankful he brought me up, because most people don't like me nowhere around, because I'm supposed to say any damn thing that's the truth.
I love you, bro.
So they done said, hey, he done turned the Vela Prophet down. He's talking about doing what in North St. Louis? Talking about building it back up.
Yeah.
He's talking about giving jobs to gangs. He have gang summit to bring people and bringing jobs to that. He's LAing the jobs. Now, if he just fixing why they got to go get the damn jobs, it ain't bad, because we know they don't know about the resume. They call the resume resume.
I need a resume.
So they said, well, hold up. What we going to have to do, if he doing all this here, we got to get one of our top handkerchief heads. Hey, Clarence, where you at? He said, here I is, boss. I was right here. We want you to be a mayor. He said, well, I don't really know about being a mayor. They said, we'll teach it. Mayor Bosley, this ain't going to go.
Where you at now?
Because if we put Francis Slip against him, he would stand a chance. We need to have you as a black man to run against Mayor Bosley. And then once we get him in there, we're going to now use Rich Karla to make sure Homan don't get back in there.
There you go.
If Mayor Bosley would have played ball with them, and when they said something, he just laughed to show his teeth like he's going to the dentist. If he would have learned how to dance, if he would have just one time just joked and played and did the ham bone, if he would have did any of that and played like he was a rented Negro, if he was a chicken finger licking, we should overcome singing, keep hope alive, rented Negro, he wouldn't have had no problem.
No.
But the mere fact that he had the audacity to stand up to civic progress,
That's right.
and had the audacity to ask them some damn questions,
Thank you.
that's why we love him.
Thank you.
And that's why I roll with him. You come at my body, I'm coming straight at you. And this brother Shahid talking.
Hey.
Because I'm free.
That's right. I ain't never seen a mayor call a hiring summit or hiring thing at Wold Center where you can come up there, and he said, I don't care, just have your stuff right so I can get you in. And brothers got jobs. They don't remember that stuff, but that's the truth. Ain't nobody ever done that.
And one thing about
it. Are you running for governor, Mayor Bosley?
Brother, I'm running for cover. I'm going.
That's normally how it is.
I just want to be left alone.
You're a target sometimes when you're doing the best you can do.
I'm going to tell you something, Bosley. Listen, I'm going to be through with it when Brother Boeski tells we read. Young people feel you. They tired of these people being fake. They tired of people playing like they for real. And they tired of people that can be bought like prostitutes, or as the Bible calls them, whorelats from whordom. They tired of these prostitutes. So when a brother talk like you, man, they feeling that.
Yeah, well.
And that's why don't nobody else want me on their radio station.
We got a lot more to feel. Cause we Nelly say, "Feel me when I bring it."
Yes, sir.
That's right. Cause I like it. I like being able to get the information out. I like being able to get the facts out.
Yes, sir.
You see, and that's what my daddy used to say. He used to always say, "Son, some people just don't want to be confused with the facts.
Right.
They want to be free to do whatever it is that they want to do without any accountability." And that's one thing, Brother Shahid, we were accountable.
We were, man.
To the people. We went out and we stayed out and we talked about it, and we always wanted to engage with the folks. That's why we had gang summits at Woes, because that's where the people were.
That's how you met Teddy and 5-4.
That's right.
So we
That's right. Let's do it.
So
Bring
brothers
it back.
and sisters, we on our way back, and then just make sure you make some calls and let people know that, hey man, they got a hot show here tonight, because they saying tell me everything needs to be said.
That's right.
Segment 3,
How many minutes?
20 minutes. We start at 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back, St. Louis. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600. Hallelujah AM. I'm in here with Brother Anthony Shahid, and we got a guest that's giving some information that's important to you, too. We got Bombay Boeski back there on the ones and twos. Boeski fooled around and broke out with a shish kebab on me tonight.
I'm sitting. How you going to be talking about doing man's business, man?
I'm sitting in the office working, trying to get ready for the show. And all of a sudden,
early in the morning,
smell come wafting into my office. I said, "Who the hell? What is somebody who cooking?"
He's been to culinary school, man.
He ain't been no culinary school.
I'm just telling you what he said. I don't know. I'm just telling you what he said.
Hey, look, I get up and I go in there and I look in the little oven. I see red peppers and steak and green peppers and onions. I started grabbing that. My damn
Well, you know
self.
something?
I said, well, what the? Boeski, you got to have that next time and let us know so that we can chip in. You know,
Yes,
we
sir.
ain't trying to ask you to give us nothing, but just prepare it. Yeah, prepare it for us next week so we can have a little something to eat. So, but
Make the dream work, I got you.
that's right, man. That's right. Teamwork makes the dream work.
I'm glad he said something.
smell that.
Of course, I got to talk about this January the 6th piece because we talked about it last week,
ahead.
but I want to kind of tie it in. But I want to say something about Brother Boeski because last week he was telling me about the ginger he's getting.
The what?
Ginger.
Who's
You
got
know,
ginger?
Brother,
The remedy that I was coming up with, well, just my own little self regimen that I do.
Oh, a remedy.
so brothers and sisters that can't, so brothers and sisters
Yeah,
that
it's
can't
good
hear,
for you. It's good
so
for
brothers and sisters that can't hear him, I'm speaking into the mic. He's talking about a remedy because most people are talking about shots and everything, but as me and Mary Bosley was talking about, you got to be talking about a whole package. You can't be just talking about one thing.
Right.
You know, you got to talk about zinc. You got to talk about ginger. You got to talk about turmeric. You got to talk about red onions.
Yes, sir.
You got to talk about avocados. You got to talk about oranges. You got to talk about things that's going to get your body back right because if you're eating potato chips all day and Fritos and everything that you're eating is fried and everything that you're doing, you're going to McDonald's or, you know, if you know if those lines are long as hell.
Fresh and alive.
You keep on eating like that with the sugar diabetes you already got and the high blood pressure that you already got and all the other problems that you got, then now you compounding your problems, and when these diseases do come, you're going to be more susceptible to catch it because you haven't put anything in place. You don't take no exercise. You don't drink water. See, all those things, God made water for a reason. The whole earth is 3/4 water. You thought your body is 3/4 water. You don't think you're never supposed to drink water?
Right, that's right.
You're drinking sodas. I dare you, or I wouldn't use the word dare, I challenge you. The next time you have a problem with your battery and it's got a lot of corrosion on it, any of them sodas that you drinking, you do me a favor. Go pour a soda on that corrosion, and I promise you, you'll see how it eats it up, and that's what it's doing to you. So, you know, I just want to give Brother Boeski, as a young man, a shout out.
That's right.
The mere fact that he's taking care of his health, and you know, it says you're supposed to eat to live and not just eat to eat. So I'm thankful that a young man is conscious enough.
Young man.
A young man.
Give me some of that.
This is lemongrass.
You want to speak into that mic?
Young man, you ain't even singing, man.
That's beautiful, ain't it?
My thing. What's up, y'all? This is Bombay Boeski. So right now, I have in my bag right now, I have vitamin C, 1,000 milligram vitamin C.
Let me put my glasses on.
The same thing that we had last week, the elderberry multivitamin gummies, and then right here I got tea, which is whole leaf.
That look like marijuana.
That's cold.
You gotta have some water for this.
Yeah. So
Well, I have some of that. I'll make me some of that on the
you
break.
Take two of them, Mr. Bob.
Okay.
But yeah, that's lemongrass.
Okay.
That's lemongrass leaves and ginger leaves.
I love ginger.
I mean, well, not ginger leaves.
It's
ginger.
Yeah.
That-
I like ginger.
You get you
I'm
some
gonna take
garlic,
you to the-
all those things that you turmeric.
Like I said, zinc.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how. Yeah, if I get one, thank you, brothers and
make some
sisters.
tea.
We on the app still
make
taking.
some
I
tea.
would used to use the word stealing,
make a
but
little
borrowing some of our brothers' product.
Yeah.
And let me just say this
We'll
here
make
because
some-
I got to switch the subject for just one more minute. You just heard the brothers say about marijuana look like marijuana. The reason now they got what they call marijuana that's legal now, because they don't even want black people. Them brothers on the street corners was making so much money.
Oh, yeah.
Them white folks say, "Well, I take you up. We got to rain on some parades. I don't care which way they coming. We don't want them to make no money, no kind of way.
That's right.
Whichever one, I'm just telling
We're
you,
cornering the industry.
everything I look at, I don't see nothing that I go along with these white folks do. Everything they do, they come at us some kind of way. But again, I'm going to say this before I go to the next subject. I want to thank this young brother here because what you see is if he start doing it, some other young brothers will start doing it.
That's right.
And they'll understand this consciousness and how important it is to be conscious, because if you don't take care of your health, we have a saying, and I'll leave it alone, take care of the 5 before the 5 take care of you. Let your youth be before you become old. Let your health be before you become sick. Let your wealth, whether it's the wealth of knowledge or wealth of money, whatever you wealthy in, wealth of music, be before you become poor. Let your time be before you too busy or you preoccupied, and let your life be before your death.
Oh!
Before the fire take care of you.
Hey! Hey, he put it on. Put it on. That's what I'm talking about. Teach, brother.
This young brother here is taking care of himself, and what he's really doing, he's setting an example. See, that example is the main thing that you want to do. Dr. King set an example. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad set an example. Mayor Bosley, the mayor of the city of St. Louis, and wouldn't do what Clarence Harmon would do, set an example.
Dr. King, remember Dr. King, he said, like all men, I'd like to live.
Yes.
But longevity has its place.
Yes, sir.
That's right. He knew that they was gonna come at him. He knew they was coming at him, and he said it. He said, "I want to live. I'd like to live."
Yeah, that's right.
But in the interest of, in the spirit of what I'm doing, I know the longevity of my opportunity is not so long.
That's deep.
Right.
That's what he was saying. He said he could have said, "I know they coming."
Right.
He sacrificed.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Boy, I remember that brother, man. All them things that he said. He's imparting that knowledge and that wisdom. He said, "Why so tall as to reach the
That's
pole?"
my boss's piece there now.
Huh?
That's my boss. That's your
Or
piece.
grasp the ocean at a span.
Yes, sir. Yes,
I must be measured by my soul. The mind.
Go ahead.
The mind. The mind is the
1600.
standard of the man.
Only on
When
1600.
I heard that one, I took it.
Yes, sir.
When I heard that, I took it and I ran with it.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Lord.
First black
Yeah,
man.
I ran with it. That man is the stand. The man is the standard of the man.
Yeah.
That's true. And you know, to Kumo D, we always say knowledge is king. You'd always say knowledge is king, and there's so much to be said by that because they say if you want to hide something from a black person, put it in a book.
They say.
Yeah, if you want to hide something from a black person, put it in a book.
That's not
We
good,
are
nigga.
not going to read.
That's not
You hear
good.
what I'm saying?
That's not good.
We're going to speculate. We're going to conject.
Perpetrate.
We're going to perpetrate. We're going to hate, but we're not going to know.
That's right.
See, and that's the key. Well, when we was coming up in the neighborhood, we used to say, "You don't know what you're knowing. You don't know what you're knowing."
Right.
So that you got to know something, man. That is the key. That is the key, and that's why we always talk about drilling down. You see, because a lot of people say surface stuff. They make these statements and then they run off. But we don't make statements and run off. We make statements and we stand on them.
We stand on. And
We stand on them and we drill down on them.
We don't cut no slack.
That's
on
right.
them. We say what a whole lot of them would think to say, but they can't say it, and some of them can't even think it. And just one other piece, Mary, since we're right here, because next week I know we're going to do a piece on Dr. King. Most people don't know that Allah bless this brother to be so deep. They wanted a piece of him, and they threatened him. It was only 3 stations doing that: NBC, ABC, and CBS. They told Dr. King that if he accepted that Nobel Peace Prize, and y'all Google this, because maybe I don't know what I talk about. I know what the hell I'm talking about, but Google it. I want you to play. No, give me one ear and keep the other ear suspicious. So check it. That anything that he was doing, and anything because they was bugging him, they was checking out everything he was doing. That if he wind up accepting that Nobel Peace Prize, and you got to listen to that tape. I don't know how many people have listened to that speech he gave for the Nobel Peace. Man, this brother was elegant. He wasn't just no regular brother now.
Yes, sir.
This brother was elegant. They told him they going to start sending tapes of everything that he's ever did out. And you know, Dr. King told him, do what you got to do.
That's right.
And they didn't play it on the stations, but what they did start doing is start sending stuff home to his wife.
Right.
See, but I'm just showing you what kind of people you're dealing with. Because anytime a black man stands up like Brother Boeski was saying, the Honorable Marcus Garvey, know these people's history. Don't stay saying that Mayor Bosley and Brother Shahid just be bothering people. Y'all can Google now, fact check.
Yeah.
That's how you can know.
Fact check. That's key.
That way you'll know if we talking. Right now, while we talking on the radio, you should be able to say, see that lie they just told? Or you can come back and say, wow, I didn't know there was this. And be thankful when somebody's bringing you information that you normally wouldn't
Knowledge.
have. You know, the next thing, pay attention to the tape that he got out, that he taught about the drum major instinct.
Oh, yeah.
Listen to that one real good.
Yeah.
Listen to that one.
Yeah.
That he did 1 year before, I think it was 1967. He got killed in 1968, but it was on April the 6th, the same day, 1 year prior.
Yeah.
Listen to that tape.
Yeah.
Google that tape.
Right.
April the 6th, 1967. Google that tape.
You know what the drum major, what the drum major's instinct was about? The drum major instinct was a message to us
Correct.
about leadership, and it was a message to us about responsibility, because what he talks about in the speech, he says the drum major leads the parade. The drum major is out front of the parade. The drum major has a staff, and the drum major rears back. When the drum major breaks left, the crowd breaks left.
Right.
The drum major breaks right, the crowd breaks right. But what happens when the drum major is wrong and the crowd knows, and the drum major breaks right and the crowd goes left? That's what he's talking about, the drum major instinct. And that's what some of these handkerchief heads.
Oh, man. Come on.
Wait now.
Man,
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Now, I'm trying to tell you, I'm bringing it around back to you. That's what he's talking about. Fake leaders.
Yes, sir.
He's talking about fake leaders. And as Bombay say, people who just want to get a check, or people who just got the job because they want some health insurance. You hear what I'm saying? That the beauty about the drum major instinct is that it crystallizes, and he doesn't call them fake leaders. Mm-hmm. He calls them drum majors.
Which is just as heavy.
Yeah, it's the drum major instinct to want to lead the parade. You see what I'm saying? Yes, to want to lead the parade and not necessarily knowing what leadership is all about.
That's right.
You see, they just like they got the hand up.
Yes, sir.
I want to be it. I want to be in charge. I want to be in charge. What you gonna do? Right. Can I be a leader?
Master, I go front, master.
Right. That's right.
And with the drum major instinct, also you got
into that mic.
You got the horn section. You got the drum section.
Yeah.
You got the color guard.
That's right.
So he's also telling
you got the symbols. Absolutely.
So you have to do your people like that, your constituents. A good mayor, a good senator answers their constituents' calls.
That's right.
And they try to take care of their constituents.
That's right.
They don't be absent like some of these senators and state reps that don't get back to their constituents.
That's right.
And that's bad.
Can't find them.
That's what they
can't find them.
Brother Boeski keep holding out.
Those folks.
They getting paid.
Yeah. They get a check.
They ran for office telling us what they're going to do. Now we're asking them to do what they said they're going to do. Now they become the invisible man.
That's right.
So as we do the roll call, Daryl Piggy. Oh. As we start doing the roll call, Wesley Bell and Clarence Harmon and his son Steve. That's only Steve Harmon. Now, this brother Shahid, I'm speaking. This is brother Shahid speaking. I speak for me and me only in the time.
You're going hard in the paint.
No, man. I'm not going hard. I ain't went hard enough. Because I'm just telling you the reason. You ain't in office. You can keep on playing these little games if you want to. You ain't in office because you're talking about helping black folks. So Harmon said, Master, I can be a good boy, sir.
Well,
can I just finish my point?
Go ahead.
I'll be a good boy, sir. Sir, I can put my nose where it's supposed to be, sir. I know how to shine shoes. I'm a good bootlicker, sir. And guess what? As an incumbent, Clarence Harmon got just about 1,000 or 1,500 more votes than what's the guy that just passed. There was a real good guy that was on the Board of Education that was running, that was suicidal too.
Bill Haas.
Bill Haas. He barely got as many votes as Bill Haas, and Bill Haas don't never do nothing but run.
Perennial candidate.
Drive around in their cars.
Right.
And he did everything white folks told him and his son Steve Harmon. They did everything that the white man told them to do. And guess what? That's what he got out of that. So I
don't know whether Steve did that though. But
yeah, Steve was bootlicking too. Now I know about Steve. Yeah, he bootlicking too now. Come on now. He keep his nose right there too. He said that's fresh air for him.
I thought Clarence Harmon was a radio guy.
No, he was the chief of police.
Chief of
police.
Remember
that?
who did everything.
Oh, that's the guy that came right after you. You can see the writing on the wall that they threw him in against, like they always do black folks. I said, where did dude come from? He the chief. Stick to what you know, man.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Okay, man.
But
you better go and get it because I got some more. You go.
No, I'm good.
These people ain't doing what they supposed to be doing, and we got to call them out, brothers and sisters. Our community is dying. We're starving. We've seen that damn near before they could pass those checks out. Now, I keep on talking about Brother Boeski because he's a young person. If we don't sit and rely on them, then we're in trouble. And the mere fact that within the time that they was getting the money.
But you know what he said when Boeski got up and came around to the microphone? He said, "You ain't even sagging."
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
He said, "That's right." He said, "You ain't even sagging."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I for the life of me,
That's hot.
I don't understand why they do it. You hear what I'm saying? I mean, I just I still it doesn't have. I guess my problem with it has no logic.
No logic.
Yeah, and so that's why I guess it kind of escapes me or goes over my head because I can't rationalize.
Hey, Boeski, this is what they do. If you
Speak it to the mic. You got to speak it to the mic, bro.
If you see them sometime and you just look like you're stupid, they'll go 2 minutes and then they start pulling them up for a minute.
Yeah.
And then they go back and then you say, what sense is that? Just keep them up.
Brother, if you don't speak it to the mic, they won't hear you, young man, if you don't speak it to the mic.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Then they be buying like the young ones.
Oh, man, they teaching them.
They be like shiny, like to each his own. If you're gonna wear a nice buckle or whatever, that's you, bro. That's you. But what's the purpose of having a nice
belt on the pants and your pants is falling down?
So I want to make sure the listener audience can hear what the brother is saying. He's saying, why are you buying pants and then go buy a belt with a nice buckle on there and still have your pants on your ankle?
Ridiculous.
That's what he's asking. He's asking a legitimate question. Why do you even go get a belt? I know it look good.
And I
you
just
want to see your drawers. I don't look at men's
What
drawers.
are you inviting folks to get behind?
A man, has to make a man.
yeah.
A pussycat. I mean, a lion. A pussycat can't make a lion. A lion can take a pussycat and make him a lion.
Right.
So, when you walking around there, the brother just got through saying that's a homosexual look to me. I'm not here to be showing. What man want another man looking at his butt?
Yeah.
And looking at his drawers.
Draws.
And a lot of times, we just have to keep it real. That kind of stuff there up in the jails, I'm telling you, bro, because most of y'all ain't been up in the jail. If I don't know nothing else, I know about jails. You don't advertise like that. You got to remember, they not where they can just get to their wife.
Hold on. Wait a minute. They don't sag in the jail.
What you telling me? But what I'm saying, yes.
Yeah.
What I'm telling you is when you do that, you really let people know what's happening. When you say, because what they do, they damn near show the fat of their butt. They
want to do what?
Show the fat. You damn near see. Sometimes they walk around with Daisy Dukes on because what they letting you know now is I'm about that. Because I'm gonna tell you one thing about brothers in jail. If you ain't about that life, they really ain't too quick to just kind of like you got to be did something to violate like fool with a little kid or something for them to go that route with you. If you normally come there and mind your business and you ain't into that, but now if you about that, you can sure get obliged in there. They can help you out pretty good up in there. So this is the real live radio station here, brother.
Yeah, it's a real live radio station. Yeah, it's a real live. It's real live talk.
This is live talk.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
What is it? 1 minute? It's real live talk, and that's the beauty about it, And what we try to do is bring it to the people. We serve it up. Sometimes we have to serve it up to you raw because my daughter used to say sometimes, "Daddy, you talk to me like I'm somebody on the street." I said, "Baby, I tried to tell it to you one way, but it don't seem like it's getting in. So I had to give it to you the way you really need it and give it to you raw." He said, "But Daddy, I'm your daughter." I said, "Yes, you are, and that's why I had to do it to you like that. I have to give it to you like that so that you can understand exactly what's going on."
Man, we got to go to a break.
We got to go to a break. Yeah, that's what's going on right now.
Right,
we got to go to a break. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600 AM. We'll be right back. Keep it on lock. Quit playing.
We keep it real.
Yeah.
We keep it hot. I mean, if you get any hotter than this, man, you be touching the sun.
Yeah. I'm gonna go boil some water.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Brothers and sisters, just be patient. We only got one more.
Bring you back a cup.
Yes, sir.
bring back a couple one?
Yes, sir.
You gonna say, huh?
No, I'm gonna take my ass home.
Okay.
Thanks, man. Brothers and sisters, we appreciate y'all being patient with us. But the brothers are helping us. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is the blessing that what we doing and whatnot. And anything that needs to be talked about, we have to talk about here. But I'm gonna tell you what I want to do, if it's okay with you, my guest and brother Boeski. I want to talk about some black businesses. Just like what you see me now, brothers and sisters. The new thing that we're doing this year, if you bring me your mask, if you hit us in the inbox on the Freeman Bosley Jr. show, if you would go on YouTube and hit us, tell me what company you got. We want to push black businesses. See, around here, we don't have a problem pushing black businesses. We don't have to apologize for being black here. We don't have to wait till February to be black. And we don't have to end it at the end of February. We black all the time. We walk black, talk black, look black, get up black, go to sleep black, respect black, and we black time black to the blackest power. Ask me how I'm doing. Ask me how I'm doing.
How you doing?
I'm doing black-tastic. Ask me how I'm doing.
How you doing?
I'm doing black-anificent. Ask me how I'm doing.
How you doing?
I'm black-arific. When my phone rings tonight, I'm going to say, talk black to me, but don't talk back to me. I'll get red black
That's
with
right.
you.
That's right.
I don't
That's
apologize for being who I am. I'm not in the apology business. My name is not Jesse Louis Jackson. See, I'm free. And I like being free.
That's right.
I like saying whatever needs to be said because this is what young people want to hear about. They want to hear about what's happening. They want to know why y'all dogging Brother Reginald Clemens. I know I said I was going to hit a black business, so I hit that. How many more segments we got? One
Is
or
that
two?
a black business?
Beautiful, so I can
Is that
get
a
to
black business liquor store I heard on? Do you know? Right there at Natural Bridge and King Natural Bridge.
I don't know, so I don't want to give nothing out that I don't know. So we're not
that's
going
why
to
I'm asking you. Natural
I'm
Bridge
not-
and King's
Do
Highway.
me a favor, you find out because maybe next week you'll come and do what you're doing right now again.
Okay.
And we want to push black. If it's a black business,
think that's a
we want to help
black
them, but I don't want to guess. I want to know.
That's why I was asking
You know, and I don't know. But I do know about Aries Restaurant.
Aries is good.
I know about Aries Restaurant.
Aries got some good Simon croquettes there. It's clean and the service is beautiful. Very humble.
You stay where you at. I'm gonna let you read this. Stay where you are.
Very humble. Very humble.
I need you to help me with some of this.
I've eaten there several times. The ice cream parlor and cafe is at 5572 Natural Bridge, St. Louis Avenue, Missouri. Tuesdays and Saturdays open from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Sundays 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's a dine-in, carry-out, call-in, order, welcome. And like I said, I go there all the time. And they're great over there.
Do me a favor, get out again. Go a little slower. We push black business. We don't try to push them. We push them. And guess what? The brother can attest for you. My brother can attest for you. Both can attest for you. We don't get a dime for doing it.
No.
But we're getting paid by knowing that black people get a chance to hear about another black business that maybe they never heard about before.
That's right.
And guess what? Get a chance to go and deal with them.
That's
and
right.
get some good food. So get that information out one more time.
That's courage right there. This business is Aries. It's off of Natural Bridge. It's an ice cream parlor.
Natural Bridge and Clara.
Natural Bridge and Clara. That's right.
Dead
That's
on
the
the
intersection street. And like you say, they do ice cream. It's an ice cream parlor, breakfast, lunch, cafe, soups, desserts, and it's at 5572 Natural Bridge, St. Louis Avenue, Missouri. The phone number is 328-2992, and its hours of operation are Tuesday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and on Sundays, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's a dine-in, carry-out, call-in, order, and they say they welcome you. And like I say, I've been there several times, and the service is beautiful. It's clean. The young lady and the men, they treat you good and cook stuff to order. And like with anything, if you don't like it, you let them know, and they'll appease you.
I promise you're gonna like their food. Unless you on some dumb stuff, you're gonna like their food because it's clean and it's beautiful, clean building. Let's talk about the flavor pickle bar. Let me take my time and talk about the flavor pickle bar. If you want to talk about pickles, and you're talking about the top of the line pickles, if you got a little cold, they got some pickle juice with that turmeric in there and that garlic in there, brother.
That'll help.
You talking about that garlic and that turmeric, and it's like a little hot taste to it. I had some about 3 months ago, and I wasn't feeling good. This is Allah's my witness on the Holy Quran. I felt better with the first hit. I had like a pint of it. And between drinking and shaking it up with all those different seeds and everything in there, within an hour or two, I felt it, but by the time I drunk that whole jar, I was good. And it's called the flavored pickleball. So let's talk about some of these flavors. They got all kind of flavors. Again, the flavored pickleball. That's what it's known as, the flavored pickleball. They got so many flavors, sweet and spicy, sweet kosher garlic, sweet hot garlic, turmeric, root beer, pickled beets. Them pickled beets, that's what Mary Bosley in love with. Mary Bosley loved those pickled beets. When I say he loved those pickled beets, he loved them. Cauliflower, mixed spicy, watermelon, Chicago style, mixed mild, Caribbean coconut, green apple, peppermint, butter and bread and butter, blue raspberry, apple, kosher dill, spicy dill, cinnamon strawberry, fry squab, and a host of Jolly Rancher flavors. That okra is another thing that done took this place by storm. They got some okra that's out of this world. Yeah, okra. Oh. I'm talking about straight okra. Now, I'm going to tell you, I fell in love with okra when I was little, because how my mom used to cook it. But they got okra, brother. I'm going to tell you, you can eat it right out the jar because the way they do it, I don't know what they do to it. All I know is Mila, one of the entrepreneurs, they're 7 years old. When you ask them, well, how did you do it? She said the secret is in the bottom of the ocean, and you have to go there and get it. So the bottom line, she ain't giving the secret out.
Right.
I think 1 week what we want to do is invite her and tell her. These are two entrepreneurs that's 15 years old. Bring them on the show and let them talk about the flavor pickleball.
Oh, yeah.
You can get them to, all you got to do is take your time and go to Market Wagon. If you want something delivered. If you do it on one day, if say for instance this morning, Saturday morning, if you do it Saturday morning, you can have it by Tuesday or deliver it to you. Yeah. And they take CBD infusion upon request. They're FDA certified locations. And the telephone number, first of all, Flavor Pickleball is the name. The telephone number is 314-728, go back, 8318. Come on, you 314, I don't miss nothing. 728-8318. I'm cool with you. I think you need that heat because when they hear us on this radio here, Brother Shahid don't hold nothing back, and you don't want to have this kind of problem. I love this kind of problem. Again, that's the flavored pickleball. Again, so far we gave out Aries ice cream parlor and cafe. That's at 5572 Natural Bridge, 314-328-2992. We also gave out the flavored pickleball. The flavored pickleball, 314-728-8318. Get your pencil and paper out, 314-728-8318. I hope they can get us some masks made, put the flavored pickleball on, put Aries on. You know, whatever it is, we'll put those masks on. And if you know a company that we need to be pushing, if they black, we want to push them. We don't talk about trying to push them. We're going to push them. Because if we're not pushing them, that means we're pushing everybody else. And that's absolutely no good. I want to get Rodney Scales. He has a BP on Kings Highway and Natural Bridge. Go there and get your gas, brothers and sisters. Don't run out of gas, but when you get to a 4th tank, try to be somewhere in the Natural Bridge, Kings Highway area go to Rodney Scales service station. We have to go out of our way to spend money with each other. And if you don't take your time to spend money with somebody that's about something, that's about this community, and took enough time and invested their money to come into this community, then we have to support them. And that's what it's all about. Go to Rise and Shine on St. Louis Avenue in Graham. Go to Brother Mike. Tell him you heard it on Hallelujah 1600 and Mary Bosley and Brother Shahid and Brother Boeski and our guest is talking about how he shines shoes. This brother here started shining shoes, brothers, y'all, when he was 9 years old. And he used to work for a brother named Mr. Jerry. Mr. Jerry was on St. Louis Avenue and Marcus. In the house of good care. But he started there, him and Miss Dolly and Mr. Jerry, and they trained so many young brothers. Right now, most people don't know it's a lot of money in shining shoes. And if you think about what you could never do, if you could just shine every shoe in the city of St. Louis, you would never get to all of them. Less than only trying to get them twice, but if you think about the whole world, you got 7 billion people on the planet, from what I understand, 7 billion people. Everybody you know in your life, if they were shining shoes 24 hours a day, everybody in your world, everybody you ever met, everybody you spoke, y'all would never be able to make a dent in the shoe. So you got to start thinking like that. You got to start thinking about something positive. This year, the year 2022, Think about what you can do if it ain't nothing but shoestrings, if it ain't nothing but you want to buy tires, if it ain't nothing but you going to just sell tires. If you think about you don't want to do nothing but shine shoes, if you think you don't want to do nothing but cut hair. Start thinking about something that you can do to make you some money. Stay where you at on the job for a minute and use their money to start investing in your business, your dreams. You know, a people without vision will soon perish. You got to start pushing black businesses. We got to do it right across the street right there on Norwood and also Natural Bridge. Brother Rodney has a Jiffy Lube right across the street from there. Dead on the corner of Norwood and dead on the corner of Natural Bridge. Go there and get your oil changed. Don't wait until it get too black and it's dirty and then all of a sudden you talking about, can he fix it? No, he can't fix it. The life of a car is a tune-up and oil change. If you keep that oil change, you're going to be doing pretty good. But you got to stay on top of it. We push black businesses, brothers and sisters here. So you got to roll with us. You got to understand what we're doing, why it's so important, and why you have to be a part of it. Because if you don't help them, you know, it say God help those who help themselves. You don't sit and try to help somebody, then they ain't no good. I got another flyer here for anybody that have problems. The brothers say 1 out of 3 black will be incarcerated in their lives. So they got a group called We Keep Us Safe. It's called Power Build Meetup. Every second and fourth Thursday from 6 o'clock to 7:30 p.m. They're at 3108 North Grand. 3108 North Grand. See, so what we want to do is make sure that you help us push anything that's positive. If it's positive, we want to push it. If it's positive about our people, I'll show it to you. We want you to make sure that you get it. And it says, come, build, dream, and heal with us. We're inviting community members of color who have been directly impacted by violence, whether systematically, impersonal, or community, to collectively address the harm and violence in our neighborhood. Child care, food, and transportation is provided. The telephone number is 314-328-9838. Again, 314-328-9838. And we're pushing this. Why? Because we are talking about doing something in our community to heal. We have to start thinking like this. Another thing that I've always asked people, say, for instance, you say, well, I can't get to them. Start telling yourself, when I was growing up, brothers, they had a Big Brothers program. And there was always a big brother somewhere that was doing something with some young people. We got to do something to get young people, you know, focused. So maybe it might be you, and you know how to do a little carpentry work. Bring a little brother with you and show him how you do a little carpentry work. Maybe it's a little brother that's next door to you, a little hard-headed little guy that you see kind of going the wrong way, that you can just say, you know, hey, little Johnny, check this out. I'm going to tell your mama, I'm going to pick you up tomorrow. I want you to come with me and go paint. Or, hey, little brother, come on here. Let me show you how to shine shoes. That's what somebody did with Mike at Rise and Shine. See, somebody pulled him. Somebody could be at the barber shop. They ain't got to say, when they got a barber college, that's good. And if they can get into good. But if you know how to cut hair, show the little brother how to cut hair. Show a brother how to detail wash a car. There's a lot of money in detail washing the car. I ain't talking about just washing the car. I'm talking about detail washing it and waxing it and doing what it needs to be doing, cleaning out the carpet in there. Spend some time invested in a young person. This is year 2022. Don't start talking about something, what's wrong with these young people. They need some help. But they can't get no help, and you talking about from a radio like what we doing and then leave it here. No. When we leave here, we're involved in some young people's lives. You know, and you don't have to do it and get on YouTube and do it. You don't have to do it and try to show the whole world you're doing. If you're sincere, go help somebody and don't tell nobody a damn thing, because somebody helped you. Somebody helped me. You know, somebody helped me. And I always talk about this family named Miss Martha Harvey. I have to talk about them. They took care of my mother and my brothers and my sisters, and there was 7 of us. And they took care of us, and they stayed at 1430 North Union. I had to be about 3 or 4 years old, brothers and sisters. My whole family, we had hard times. That family moved us in, Brother Boeski, a husband and wife, and they already had 7 kids. And we stayed with them for 3 years. And they always made us welcome. Miss Martha always said, when my children eat, y'all gonna eat, because y'all my children too. And my mom worked as hard as she could and put the things together, and God bless my mother to be one of the most powerful entrepreneurs it was in America. That's what she was about. She always was in the store business. but because of Miss Martha Harvey and the Harvey family. I want somebody to tell people, Brother Shahid talks about them all the time, dog. And let me tell you something about them. They were Christians.
Wow.
These were real Christians.
Wow. There you go.
These are the Miss Martha Harvey, Mr. Kamak, Mother Hardaway, and Reverend Hardaway. When I tell you, that's how I learned about homemade ice cream. We didn't have a nickel sometime to buy ice cream. They would always have those homemade ice cream that you churn it. They would give us ice cream, Brother Boeski. They let us stay in their house for 3 years.
For real?
I'm going to tell you, and I tell people publicly, they're a better Christian than I was a Muslim. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm keeping it real. I don't think I can let no 7 people stay in my house. I help you with some rent. Every week I help get you some growth. I help you not, you know, it might not be no lot. But to me, she was a better Christian than I'm a Muslim. And I don't know how many people would let 7 people move in their house. I'm just being honest, and they already got a house full. You know, so that take a different kind of a heart. And she's a special person to me. So let me go get Mary Bosley, Brother Boeski, and then we can, brothers and sisters, just be patient with us one more time because we had a little thing that we was doing, but we're back on the air. What's that? Hey, man.
Hey, we on the air still right now?
Only on YouTube and Facebook.
So we on right now?
Yep.
I can't talk. They hear us talk?
Yep.
Okay.
What's up?
No, I want how to show on my little thing. I be doing a little thing about support thing. I used to do a little show on YouTube. You can look it up if you want to.
You wanna do it no more?
No, because I didn't have all the things. Look it up and check it out.
I can't do it now.
Okay.
Okay, brothers and sisters, thank y'all again for being patient. We're going to come back in. We're going to start back, brothers and sisters. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is always remember, we didn't put this out. Once the pandemic came, we couldn't go into a studio.
That's right.
So we had to make our studio.
They wouldn't let us.
They wouldn't let us
They
in
would
there.
not let people into the iHeart studios.
Sure. So we didn't take no for an answer. We didn't come up with no excuse. We learned a long time excuses for incompetent
That's right.
people. Excuses are like person got a butthole. Everybody got one.
Well, but the other thing about it too is people kept coming up to us. Well, what y'all gonna do? How we gonna get back on the air? When y'all gonna get back on the air? And then you said, Mary, we gotta get back on.
That's right.
You said, he said, we gotta get back on the air.
Yeah.
But we didn't know nothing about radio. We didn't know anything about radio stations. But what that did was the pandemic
Yes.
forces you
To
to find a way
Yes.
when there is no way, and forces you to start thinking out the box.
Always.
So me and Shahid started thinking. I said, man, let us turn the conference room at the
we did.
law office
Yeah.
into a radio station.
That's what we did.
Yeah. And here we go. And now we got
We used to-
cameras, we got
we got-
lights, we got a green screen,
we got-
we got everything, you know. But that was because we refused to just shut down. You know what I'm saying? We refused to shut down, like Martin Dr. King will say, yeah, we'll make a way when there is no way.
You probably ready to come back on now.
Huh? What?
We're going to go live.
Well, let's do it.
Come on.
All the time.
Segment 4, 22 minutes. We start in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back, St. Louis. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600 AM. We're in the studio here. We've got Brother Anthony Shahid. We got a person that's an employee or an affiliate.
An anonymous person.
An
that's helping us.
anonymous affiliate.
Or somewhere.
Yeah, he's an anonymous affiliate.
Right.
I'm just going to leave it like that.
That's
And
good enough.
of course, Bombay Boeski and Boeski done turned me on to this ginger tea, and I've been trying it, and it's good.
That's beautiful. And that's what we need to be doing, brothers
Yeah.
and sisters. So we appreciate y'all coming on with us and listening and making sure you help us get this information out. We were talking about Dr. King just before we went out, but I want to hit on another piece. You know, just early this week, it was January the 6th, and they were doing a year anniversary of all the stuff that was happening. We talked about it last week. But you know what I seen, Mary? I wound up pulling out something that I used to wear around, and I put it on, Mary.
That's right.
And what it would be is how St. Louis County has been going for years. Now, anybody know dope dealers don't get people to write letters for them. And if they do get letters for them, that's probably the first time they've ever been in some trouble. They never been in trouble before, so they start talking about how good of people they are. But you never get a chief of police to write a letter. And you never get the county executive to write a letter for dope dealers.
That's right.
What wound up happening, and this is a letter that I blew up, and if you look at it real closely, brothers and sisters, then you can Google this here. The date is November the 17th, 2015. I'm setting the tone for why January 6th, this is how white folks get down.
2000.
St. Louis County Police Department, this is how cocky they are. They put on his letter here. Colonel Belmer, Chief of Police.
Colonel Belmer.
And Dodo Brain, he wasn't dumb enough to do it on his letterhead, Stinger. Yeah. He wrote a letter, but it wasn't on the letterhead. But it says, the Honorable Judge Perry, United States District Judge, 111 South 10th Street, St. Louis, Missouri. Read United States of America versus Michael Scenario. Gave the case number. Dear Judge Perry, the purpose of this letter is to provide my humble insight regarding the Scenario family and their support defense Michael Scenario as you move towards sentencing the above captioned case. I have the pleasure to get to know the Scenario family over the past 12 years and believe them to be an honorable family led by Bart Scenario Sr.
That's Saraceno.
Thank you. Help.
These are prominent people over in South St. Louis.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why
and his 4 sons, to include Michael, how you put it, Saraceno Sr. Let me. I will offer no excuse but to say that I believe that he has the benefit of having a strong family surrounding him, who has provided the right type of support and demand accountability from him as he moves forward in the tragic decision that he alone bears the responsibility for. It is because of the strength, example, and guidance of Michael's family, particularly his father and uncles, that I am providing the insight of your consideration. I remain confident with the decision you render in this matter. It is the right decision and enjoy my full support. Now, what the hell is he doing?
That's the chief of police.
I couldn't get him to write a letter for me.
I'm setting the tone for it. Not only did he write one, guess who else wrote one?
Who else?
Dodo Brain, the one who in jail now.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder who writing the letter for his behind. Now, look at this right here now. This is the house that got burnt up, y'all. This house got burnt up.
Wow.
Guess why it's showing? The Post-Dispatch showed it. Wow. It was a white woman house that he made a mistake, but he wound up bringing 100 pounds of marijuana in. And somebody told on him.
Wow.
After they told on him, they went back for revenge, but they hit the wrong house.
Yep.
The only reason it came out, because they hit the wrong damn house.
Hit the wrong house.
If they hadn't hit this white woman house,
it wouldn't have never came.
Now, can you imagine a chief of police and a county executive writing a letter for a dope dealer?
Yeah.
Now I understand how January the 6th went the way it went.
Yeah.
I understand how they had 15 white police sergeants, 2 blacks, who was Lieutenant Cheryl Orange and Brother Michael States. Out of 19 positions, only 2 blacks got a position. I understand how it was 53 police out there in Ferguson, and only 3 was black, because this is how they get down. This is how they cover for each other. This is how they wind up doing everything that they did. And I sit back and look at this how Lakeshaw can sell drugs and dope in the black community for all these years and wind up running 80% of the police department until we got on Mary Bosley's show and every week whooped his behind. Every week, not every other week. Every week we was putting our foot in his behind. He thought he was taking a prostate test, but it wasn't no prostate. This was all foot up in his behind. And told how he had drugs and dope in the black community for years. But I'm just showing you the history. So now I understand how on January the 6th, how Trump is telling me, hey man, this was a parade y'all tripping with about. Man. Why the hell is y'all still talking about some a year later? Why y'all asking for my records? Why y'all worried about what people was talking about doing and how we went in there? Yeah, somebody got killed. Yeah, police got killed.
4 people dead.
Why y'all keep making an issue about this? We got votes. See, what we have to do as black people is stop playing like we not empires. When we see a ball coming across that plate, we got to say a ball. If it's a strike, you got to say a strike. You got the Quran, the Holy Quran says, speak the truth even if it's against yourself. We good at speaking about each other.
Oh, with the quickness.
But we got to address what white folks are doing. And let me tell you something else. You know who the only person that stood up was talking about this? Colonel Troy Dahl.
Yeah.
Let me repeat this again. Colonel Troy Dahl and St. Louis County had a major problem with this. Colonel Troy Dahl. Guess who didn't have a problem with it?
Do it.
The handkerchief head they got out there now.
Yeah.
Gregory, he didn't have no problem with that. He didn't speak out there. Troy Dahl had a problem with that.
Yes, sir.
How is a chief of police writing a letter for Dahl? And guess what?
On a crime.
Let him do it.
Yeah,
On a crime.
That they know happened. And you know what wound up happening when the rank and file found out the Colonel Troy Dahl had a problem with all the other ones had, because they didn't know he had wrote a letter on his letterhead.
They didn't know Belmont.
They didn't know Belmont had wrote a letter. So they was trying to get this guy convicted, sent to jail, get some nice time,
That's right.
and got hit with stinger, letter in court, and a chief of police then went behind their back and ain't told them people what he did.
Well, how did they handle it?
The way they usually do. Obama retired with I don't know how much money. I think he retired with close to about a year and a half later. It didn't nothing happen during that time.
At least $100,000 pension.
At least $100,000. Can you
Pension
imagine?
a year for the rest of his life.
Right, for the rest of
So that's why we have to address this kind of stuff. You know, that's why I'm so concerned about this chief of police.
They don't get called out on their stuff.
Oh,
and they study getting.
No, we'll call each other out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have. They don't have to worry about us.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna do ourselves in.
Still the same
But
old
we
double
ain't
standard.
ain't gonna say a peep about that white boy.
Ain't gonna throw a rock in the schoolyard when school out. Ain't gonna step on a grape to make no wine, and that's your job.
They say won't throw rice at a wedding.
Oh, that's hard.
So
That's what you do at a wedding. Now you
Won't
throw rice.
Yeah, you throw rice at a wedding now.
But
It's supposed to be the rice. Throwing rice at a wedding signifies rain, and rain brings prosperity and fertility and energy and prosperity. Yeah. That's why people would throw the rice.
But they won't throw rice at this
No, we
wedding.
won't throw the rice at a wedding.
That's
they don't
bad.
want no prosperity.
Yeah.
If you're gonna speak, whatever, it's okay.
They
We
don't
want you to jump
prosperity.
in. We appreciate you coming
right.
here because we constantly keeping out what's happening in this community, brother.
Right.
See, and we're not trying to play like it. We dig down. We stay on the subject, like Homer G Hospital. We've been on this for about the last 10 weeks. We still ain't cutting no slack on.
We ain't done.
Yeah. See, what we have to do. That's why I
gotta
constantly
get an
mention this
update.
guy. Yes, but that's why I keep him. One update I know a rented Negro when I see one Daryl Piggy. I don't never stop using his name. I go to sleep talking about this boy because it's
That's dangerous.
Yeah,
for him.
But we have to do that because I'm just telling you, it's like a nightmare. The mere fact that you got black men, there's supposed to be black men in this day and time, something is more is sentimental to the black community is Homer G Hospital. To your grandmother, to your mother, and to most of us my age, this is extremely serious.
Yes.
And for somebody to be in our age group and don't mind saying, hey, let me take the slack. Master, I don't mind about the black community standing up. I don't care nothing about them. I'm with you. As long as I get me some change and a butter biscuit.
Oh, no.
Yeah, this is what he did. To take a hospital that used to be 700 beds and be willing to say, hey, as long as it's got 3 beds,
That's all right with me.
that's okay with me. And then what happened is what Brother Boeski say. People who wasn't around in our age group, another 10 or 20 years from now, they'll think that's Homer G.
Yeah.
And that's what Homer G is about. See, that's why the problem comes in. The problem comes in if ain't nobody here like me and Mary Boz and other people. It's not just us.
Homer G is a
Just tell them-
landmark and an icon.
Thank
Supposed to
you.
be.
Come on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Go ahead, keep on coming. Jump on in.
Come
no,
on.
I just want to say that's what it is. And from 60, 68, or 69, that was the decline of it. But
That's right.
They had some of the best doctors and medical in the world when you delivering black babies with. Come on, man. That's all I can say.
Those doctors over there,
Man.
they had at Homer G, I guess hospitals, a lot of them around the countries had this, but they have the teaching hospitals have a auditorium where it's elevated and the instructors are down low and the students are sitting up high looking down. All right. Now, Homer G Hospital, the students could watch a real operation.
That's heavy.
Come on, man.
No.
A real operation.
Say that again, man.
You could watch a real operation at Homer G. Phillips Hospital. The students could, all right, because it was training.
That's right.
And so when somebody came that was really on the brink of dying, the doctors would say to the students, in many instances, we're going to deny the Grim Reaper today.
Ain't that something?
They felt they were that good,
Yeah.
and they felt that confident
Yeah.
in what they were doing
Yes.
that they would announce
Yes.
to the students and the people, we're getting ready to deny the Grim Reaper.
Wow.
So it also means watch and take notes.
Yes, sir.
And invariably, most instances, they would pull that person back from the brink.
Yes, sir.
You know, a shotgun, a wound, a stabbing, they would bring that person back from the brink. And see, that is, these white people don't understand that. They don't have a clue as to what that hospital means to us and to our families. See, our grandparents,
Yeah. Yeah, that's real.
born at Homer G. Phillips Hospital.
And
You hear what I'm saying?
Take me to the home, but
Yeah,
I don't want to go.
absolutely. That's what they would say.
Come on.
That's what they would say. And see, they have no concept of that. See, even if you wasn't at Homer G. Phillips, but if you black, you can feel it.
Where was Homer G located at, Boz? Exactly.
Whittier and Kennelly.
There it is. There it is. Got 4-5 wings on it, don't it, Boz?
Oh man, if you can see, it's the biggest hospital, one of the biggest hospitals
beds.
in the country. 700 beds. And here's the other piece to it. Here's the other piece that a lot of people miss. Homer G. Phillips Hospital had a school of nursing attached to it.
Wow.
That's heavy.
How come
So we had hundreds of nurses being taught and graduating every year. That's a very large piece that we miss and we neglect to talk about.
Over 75% of the nurses that were working throughout the country during the time of Homer G. Phillips opening, they were being trained at Homer G. Phillips as well.
Ain't that something?
So Brother
No,
Boeski,
they coming from now. This is right. Boeski's right. They wasn't just recruited and accepted here in the city of St. Louis. These nurses, the students come from all across the country to go to school at Homer G. Phillips School of Nursing, at just as much as they would want to go to school at Homer G. Phillips Hospital.
That's right.
this was like the mecca of hospitals.
Absolutely.
Yes,
And black folks
They
felt
supposed to
so.
open up a nursing school that's supposed to be over in the NGA area as well.
Mm-hmm.
Supposed to open up a new nursing
Well, we'll see. We'll believe that when we see it.
Yeah, that's
school. Take the whole legacy.
How many? Well, hold on now. How many students will the School of Nursing have? 3?
Because what do you get?
Yeah, Boeski, how many students will the School of Nursing have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh? Well, okay. Did they say anything about the enrollment?
And then how much participation? Because hell, if it's only 3 people they need, I don't think they're gonna need no 3 blocks. See, so this is the brothers and sisters. Why we keep bringing this information out, because it's important to us. Why? Because during that time, Barnes Hospital didn't want you. Jewish Hospital didn't want
They
you.
put you in the basement
They put you, and they said they're gonna.
or in the hallway.
They said they're gonna do a treatment on you. You know what they're gonna do? Experimental treatment.
treatment.
They're gonna sit and see on something that they ain't
A
used
treatment,
before
yeah.
how it would work on you. So black people felt we didn't feel good going there because we didn't want to be experimented on, and we know if we was whatever was going wrong, if you got shot, if you got cut, if you made it to that hospital, you was gonna live. That's how confident they were, and that's how much pride they had,
They had in it, yeah.
about that hospital.
It was a challenge to bring them back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We not letting. They say, look, we're gonna deny the Grim Reaper.
I grew up on the west side of St. Louis, up there in Wellston,
Yes, sir.
out there, and I would be downstairs. My grandmother and mom, we stayed over at a tavern called May's Tavern. Well, back then, them old boys, they would shoot out sometime, and I overheard them one time they was shooting and whatever. and I overheard him tell, "We take him to home, take me to Homer G, take me to Homer G."
Right, yeah.
So that stuff is real stuff.
Yeah.
And if I could say something right quick, Cannon,
go ahead. Take your time, bro.
I want to say this. I was raised in St. Louis, but I had the opportunity to come and up under some guys that really kind of set the tone for St. Louis, and I really respect these guys, man. And they to me they're in the limelight, but they really deserve a lot more than they get. And I just want to say, man, I appreciate Juma Muhammad, Anthony Shahid,
Oh yeah.
Mayor Bosley, Freeman Bosley, James Clark, all these guys. I've been in a time, which I hope y'all don't mind me saying this, but we need more black men to really step up. Like Shahid was saying earlier, to take some of these young guys, show them some things, take them out, have a burger with them. We need more men to step up to the plate in the families. We need more mentors. Like I say, I know where I would have been because I had some good uncles and stuff, but it still takes a village. And without these guys like this in the public figure doing things, and they are targets, like to say, because they're doing the right thing, and a lot of people are scared and they need money, but these guys here, they continue to step up to the plate, and I just want to tell y'all thanks. No bullshit.
Appreciate you being here, brother.
We thank God for you. And I want to give a shout out to a brother named Brother Lorenzo Petty.
Oh man, I saw him.
Petty.
I saw him day before yesterday.
Okay, Brother Lorenzo Petty. If anybody listening, make sure you tell him, because him and his brother, they don't tell you the history and what they really did and how they was really pushing black people. That wall of respect that most of us that was growing up would see right there by Franklin, where the second the police station is on Jefferson, but where Jefferson and Dr. King merged together at Franklin and Dr. King. It was a wall of respect there. It was because of his brother. It was because of them. Mm-hmm. They made sure that every year they rented 2 or 3 buses the size of Bi-State. They would pay for them to take young people to Six Flags. So there's a lot of things they don't tell you that these brothers did. They never try to tell you what real brothers did.
Right.
See, and they do that purposely. It's no mistake why people have problem with Percy Green. See, we got to start talking about history. Why they had problem with him unveiling the veil of prophet? See, why they had problem with Ivory Perry? Why they had problem with Frankie Freeman? Why?
Yeah.
See, because,
we got to get Percy Green back, because Bombay has never met him.
Oh yes,
he need to know. If they talk about Percy Green in every story, they talk about a man changes. He changed himself to a door, man. I said, whoa, I got to meet him myself. Yeah. And I had a chance to run into his son a fireman, man. Yes. Mm-hmm. I need to meet him. Put me on the roster to meet him too.
Yes, yeah. Okay. Well, you can come back to the show, but Percy Green climbed up the leg of the Gateway Arch before it was completed. Yeah. He climbed up at least 200 feet. Right. On the arch before they realized he was up there. And said, what's that? You know what they said? You know what they said?
Look up in the sky. It's not Superman.
You know what they said?
It's a black man.
I wish I could have been on the site. They said, what's that doing up there?
Up in the sky.
God.
It's a plane.
But
it's a black man.
He would go that hard though. And I tell you another moment for me. And I was in law school, and I didn't know it. I didn't know that this was coming. It was our constitutional law class, and we had to read 5 cases every day in every class. So one of the cases that I had come across that I had to read that we would be discussing the next day was Green versus McDonnell Douglas.
Oh, man.
Percy Green sued McDonnell Douglas. That was unheard of.
Yes,
you hear me?
Yes,
it was unheard of. McDonnell Douglas is now called Boeing.
Right.
That's right.
For people who are younger.
Yes.
But at the time, that was unprecedented. Yes. And I smiled all day. Right. When I read that case.
You got the audacity as a black man. You don't lost your damn mind.
It was 100. Let's see how many. I think it's probably about 120 people in my class but it was only 6 blacks. So we would sit there, I think, and without even us knowing or talking to each other about it, we start smiling, you know, because a black person was in the now this is constitutional law for the country. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Wow. This is law for the country. Percy Green was in that.
So we don't have to wait to Black History to talk about Muhammad G. Phillips that raised $3 million. How much was it to build a hospital? During that
At that time, I think it was $33 million, wasn't it?
33 million. Yeah. I'm not sure how much it was, but it was way up there like that. But he raised that money, and that's how he wound up coming up dead too. But we gotta go to a break.
Time for a break. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600. Hallelujah AM. Keep it on lock. Quit playing.
That's how we get off. So, brothers and sisters, when you listen to this show, you get a history lesson. Mm-hmm. You get to go down History Road. You get to go down Memory Avenue. And you start making a black man boulevard. Yep. You start getting some backbone and some jawbone when you're with us.
Backbone and some what kind of bone?
Jawbone. You know, because some of them got jellyfish worms in their back for spines.
That's right.
That's why they got problems. That's why I tell brother they be having problems. Hey, bro, we want to help you, but you can't be a yellow belt. You got to show some kind of signs of a man. I mean, you can't just show no kind of signs.
My daddy used to say, boy, all you got to do is just stand up. He said, you can't fall off the ground.
Yeah.
You can't fall off the ground. Just stand up. That's what he would say. You can't fall off the ground. I love my daddy, but he taught me so much.
Yes.
But he would. When I think about the things that he would say to me
profound
now, and what he was saying to me then, I was growing, just steady growing up, and it was just he was pouring all that information into me. And it wasn't like we was in school or nothing. We would just be working on a project or something like that. And we sit in the kitchen and be sitting at the kitchen table, and he would talk and he would tell me things, So, and I try to impart that. I try to impart a lot of that to the listening audience and to people, and it was just fantastic and great to have him around, but it's a pleasure to know so much knowledge that I got from him.
All of us.
Right.
Yeah.
All of us. Because I was his son too, and I love him.
Yeah.
He loves me.
Yeah, he loves me. Anthony. Anthony.
That's all I like him, Anthony.
He said, Anthony.
Yeah. Most people, let's get another history lesson. The first mattress the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan got when he started rebuilding the Nation of Islam was from Alderman Bosley Sr.
Wow.
The very first mattress.
Yeah.
Because he specialized in dealing with mattresses. Everybody don't know about mattresses.
Yeah.
Am I right or wrong?
He learned it. He learned how to make a mattress from scratch.
Yeah. And he stayed on us about being strong black men.
Yes, he did.
The blessing was he set the example.
Yes, yeah.
It wasn't what he said. It was what he said too. I accept everything he said. But to me, it was what he said and what he did. His example made you want to be a man.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I was riding down Natural Bridge past Salisbury. Now, I done met your pops many times, and I used to trip out this dark man with this special hair.
There's white hair.
With this special hair. I like that. I like that.
Know what. Yeah. And then I say, and I'm tripping off you because I done met you, but I ain't met the man yet.
Yeah.
You the junior.
Yeah.
How in the world the junior? So I'm thinking, I said, how in the world junior the mayor? The senior supposed to be the mayor. I say, wait a minute. He groomed senior. Senior groomed junior to be there from day one. You know how I know? Bosley.
A free man.
You heard me?
Yes, sir. Look at him.
Speaking straight to it. Free.
Yeah, that's what it said. Yeah, he said, I go to prepare a place for you. That's what it is.
Yes, he did.
I can remember when my, I know we digressing now, but my father used to fix televisions.
Yeah,
he was a TV repairman. He was one of the best TV repairmen in the city. And he, fresh out of DeVry Institute in Chicago, he got his first job at Carson Union May Stern. And he was fixing TVs. They kept him in the back office back there so nobody could see him. But he would fix the TVs, and he'd get a little salary every week. But they'd be charging people hella cash for them TVs that my daddy fixed. But anyway, after he would do that from 8 to 5, then he'd come home we'd have some dinner, and then he'd pick up these tube cats. Remember, televisions wasn't like what these got. We got remember them big boys, and furniture. TVs were like furniture, and I mean they had big tubes in them, like tubes like this. So my daddy
like fluorescent light bulbs now they so big.
Some of us didn't even have a TV now.
Well, yeah.
Those that did and those that saw it, the tubes were in a tube caddy, cause my daddy had to make house calls. So he would take these tubes, because in order to fix a television, you got to have the replacement tubes with you. All right. So he would have these tubes in this tube caddy, and I would, after he'd come home and we'd eat and stuff, then he'd get ready to go back out because he was going to make these house calls. So I would say, I said to him one time, I would go with him. Sometime he'd let me go with him. So I'd be tagging along, and he'd have these big old caddies. They so big I couldn't even pick them up. And so I say, Daddy, why you always carrying these tube caddies all the time? And he looked at me and he said, so you won't have to.
I love that. That's
right. That's
right.
That's love,
He said, so you won't have to. That's right. Yeah, so he was a hell of and still is a hell of a guy, man. There's stuff, the knowledge that he imparts, We back?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's do it. This last segment?
Last segment, brothers and sisters. Thank you for being so patient with us.
Final segment, 5, 10 minutes. Go live in 5, 4, 3, 2.
What's going on, St. Louis? Welcome back. This is the final segment. You're listening to the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KATZ 1600. Hallelujah AM. Boy, we've been kicking it up, haven't we, fellas? We just didn't have a sister with us, but that sometimes
they take over. I tell you one thing, we already know what's gonna happen when they get back here.
Yeah, James Brown says it's a man's world, but it ain't nothing without a woman or a girl.
Well, they got a saying in Islam: the man is the head, but the woman is the neck. You ain't gonna do nothing without that woman. You can't turn your head. How you gonna turn it without that neck?
You ain't gonna do much without her.
No, well, I don't want to do nothing without her. yeah. I can tell you, I'm gonna do that alone. Hey man, I want to hit one part. You want to
before we do that, I want to wish Maurice Meredith a happy birthday.
Maurice.
Happy birthday, Maurice. Maurice is one of the premier photographers in the St. Louis metropolitan area. He's everywhere. He's always covering stuff. A lot of times, even if the people aren't paying him, he's there taking pictures and things of that nature. And he probably has one of the best libraries.
Ain't no secret.
You know what I'm saying? Wow. The best libraries of anybody in town. Maurice Meredith. That's a hell of a guy. Hell of a guy. Yes.
Ain't no
politician.
That's right.
Oh, man.
Boxer.
Yeah. And the thing about it, he wasn't afraid to go place, because sometimes you get a little intimidated by these people and kind of lay back or whatever. Yeah. But Maurice would just go and get right up in the mix. And next thing you know, he's in there. He's in there taking pictures, and he all up on the people and everything.
From the hood. Well, you feel comfortable around your people.
That's right.
But when you ain't around them, that's so different.
Yes, that's right.
So Daryl Biggie, you wouldn't have went there, but I want to give him something else. I got to slide that name in there. Come on, I ain't got no stuff. This is a brother that's really been a political prisoner, and because we waited till the last segment, I won't go deep into it. But by now, this brother should have been out of jail. A brother by the name of Reginald Clemens. Mm-hmm. And this brother goes back, at least 35 years, at least, maybe look. This brother here has been locked up for years and years and years and years. And I want to thank a brother, and please make sure you tell him, Brother Zaki Baruti, because Brother Zaki Baruti took the time to put a whole article of a letter that was wrote on behalf of 400 brothers, 400 Muslims in this jail. And these people got problems with Muslims, period. But I want to read this one piece that I'm looking for my glass on the top of my head, man. That's when it's bad. That's not good at all. During the time when they were making their prayers, what we call our night prayer, which is called Isha prayer, and you're making 4 rakats or going up and down 4 different times. It says, one of the guards involved in the incident, Sergeant Carl Hart, has on numerous occasions stated that he suffered from PTSD, post-traumatic stress syndrome, because he was trained to kill Muslims when he was in Afghanistan. So my question is to you, why is Sergeant Hart allowed to be in contact and involved with Muslims in the first place? He has willingly admitted that he is incapable of dealing with Muslims fairly and cannot interact with Muslims, prisoners, without
Subject to
resorting
relapse.
to brutal oppression. Despite this crime of PTSD, I'm sure he wouldn't do that to Muslims on the street. So he's only doing this to black people who are Muslims in prison because he knows of our serious disadvantage. But this is an open letter that they wrote to the commissioner, the director of the director of Missouri Department of Correction, 2729 Plaza Drive, P.O. Box 236, Jefferson City. And they addressed her and asked her why, when the brothers are praying, this is why they pray it all the time. This wasn't nothing new. What made you decide that this is a time that you want to go in there while they're praying? Most people respect anybody. When I go to a house of worship or church, if someone is even saying a prayer, I don't even walk in there. Normally they have ushers outside the door, to be honest. And it's just a time that everybody stand out there and wait. They're praying. And then when they get through praying, they'll normally open the door and let you come on in. But when people praying, I don't care what their faith is, that's something that you do not do. But the mere fact that they did that, and this brother here and all those brothers were there and they're praying, and they trying to keep it quiet, but not with a brother like Brother Zaki Barute and the African-American news world being on top of something like this. So I want to thank Brother Zaki Barute, but I really want to make sure that people understand, you know, how they get away with your loved ones in these jails. If you got somebody up in these jails, not keep in contact with them, especially during this kind of time. Make sure you find out what's happening with them, and y'all should be doing inquiries. You shouldn't say when they Muslim, it don't make no difference what their faith is, because if you violate a person's religious right, that means they'll do yours next. You keep on sitting back watching somebody else have a problem, and then you don't address that problem, now you're going to wind up having that problem. And this brother here has been a political prisoner for years. This brother here has stood up. He's changed his name now. His brother Kadir. Brother Reginald Clemens. He's Muslim now. So and that's, but they didn't have problems with this brother, and he's bad with that ink pen. You know, they say the ink of a scholar is more precious than the blood of a martyr.
Say that again.
The ink of a scholar, the very ink, is more precious than a person who gives his life for the cause of his faith or his religion. Because, you know, most people say they'll give their life for what they believe. Dr. King was a martyr for his people. He was willing to, as you say, he knew it said longevity has its place.
Has its place.
But I'm gonna be martyred. But look how he's martyrized now. That's what you call a martyr to this day. I don't care who you was. When President Barack Obama came into office, he never stopped celebrating Dr. King's birthday. When Mayor Freeman Bosley Jr. became the mayor of the city of St. Louis, it was never time to this day that I can remember. I'm talking about to this day that Mayor Bosley had marched in that parade. This is what I know for a fact. So Dr. King is a martyr. So the ink of a scholar is more precious than the blood of a martyr. So all praise due to Allah. But anyway, I just wanted to make sure I keep this out. I'm going to be talking about it a little bit more because next week they're supposed to send me some more information. And we want to keep everything out publicly because these radios, you got hundreds of thousands of people just listening. And we want to make sure that we can get this information out as much as we can. Okay, man, I just wanted to make sure I got that covered.
Well, that's great. That is good, you know. And the beauty about where we are in this point in time in 2022 is that we now have enjoyed the benefit of a diverse form of media. Even like you said earlier, it used to be times where all you had was 2, 4, and 5, right. The Post-Dispatch.
Yes. Oh,
you know, now.
And the Globe Democrat.
And I wish we had it during the time that I was in office. We would have been able to really do battle the way it should be done. Right. You see, we were just handicapped, but that's okay. We made a way for others to do it. But I enjoy these new forms of media that we have now because you can get information out instantly.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can get information out instantly if something happens instantly.
Yes, sir.
You know, so and people who have benefited from it, unfortunately, Mike Brown.
Yes.
Benefited
from
the media that we have now.
Yes, sir.
George Floyd.
Yes, sir.
benefited immensely
Yes, sir.
from the media
Yes,
that
sir.
we have now. Just think, if we didn't have that, it would have happened, and that would have been it.
Yeah.
These incidents would have happened, and that would have been it. But now, when we have incidents like this, we can get the word out, and people can know, and people can judge for themselves, and have, like you were saying, Shahid, so many different forms of media and information. So it's not like you just getting it from one source. You can get it verified, and you can do
Fact finding right away.
Google, and you can get information on your own. So that's the beauty about where we are today.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Like you
1
say,
minute remain. Go ahead. No, we got 1 minute.
like you say, the beauty of getting this out, as well as with this platform. The more platforms that we can have for black people to get good news out, to get good information,
good information,
is the better. Because when I turn on the TV, man, it's still with the news. Sometimes it's like, come on, man. You know, can I get somebody that, you know, that
tell me the real deal?
Boss.
Man, I want the people to make sure they like it. How do we go? Is it like it?
Before we do that, I want to figure out and see how we can get to the bottom of that guy who was on the football field and took his shirt off and was running around out there on the football field. We'll talk about that next week. But I'm still, like he said, can I get somebody to tell me what's going on? But it's been real. We want you to like it.
Okay, like
share it. Tag it. Follow it.
Say it again. What?
Like it, share it, tag it, follow it. Like it, share it, tag it, follow it. Like it, share it, tag it, follow it. It's the Freeman Bosley Jr. Show on KTZ 1600. Hallelujah AM. Keep it on lock. Stop praying.
So, brothers and sisters, that ends our show. And we want to tell you thank you for being with us this whole time. Make sure people you share this, because this information that Allah is blessing us to put out. I'm not saying ain't nobody doing it, but like Mary Bob said, this is going around the world. Yeah. And when they hear black men coming from the mud of civilization, it's like we've been in the ditch of the mud. And when they hear this teaching, you get a chance to get some cleaned up. You get a chance to give you some strength. It give you a life-giving teaching to make you want to be a black man. That's why they took the black man out the house. They had a thing, and one week we're going to talk about that. Why?